We're live, sir.
Uh, well, we back. Welcome, welcome to Bros at Ringside. We got everybody tonight. Everybody. Well, we're
Sorry,
missing.
Ruben. We're missing
Yeah,
Ruben.
we're missing Ruben. We're missing one. We're missing the theory. He's we're missing the theory. That's his name from now on. I think he said he's gonna join us later, maybe. But welcome back, y'all. Well, Mr. The Angry Italian.
That's
Don't
not my
wait.
name. That's not my name. I'm not accepting that.
No, we call him the Cody hater.
Oh, that you can call me anytime you want. I missed you guys. It's good to be back. Sorry for all the delays. I decided to go out and break my hip. So,
Yeah.
but I wanted an excuse to have a badass cane, and this was the best one possible.
So, he definitely he definitely came back in style. Like, geez, he got the King of Kings cane.
Bow
Like,
down to the
ripper.
cane.
Speaking, I don't even want to speak of that motherfucker. He's like, Kane. Like, I don't care if you're a Republican, but do you have to be super Republican? Like,
Oh, I was talking about his cane, not that.
oh, I don't know.
It was a good segue, though.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
I think it's okay to be a Republican quietly.
yeah, he's quietly.
I mean, I get he's a politician, and he's
Yeah, I get it.
But
He's the
just
mayor
if-
of what? Knoxville, Tennessee, right?
something or some small town around there.
Mayor
But there- is it actually Knoxville?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. I mean, he's a little bigger than I thought. But, just a few years ago, he had a very different stance on the same subject. And
Yeah,
that's the only thing. I mean, people are allowed to change their minds, but not when you build a platform around it. And now it looked like he was trying to latch on with all the hardcore Republicans. And that's a subject for a different show. But
Yep.
that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm at.
All right. Well, since we're that is a forbidden door. So since we're on talking about that, segue. So what did y'all think about Forbidden Door? Because we're gonna we doing some catch up. Oh, you giving us a 10? 10? 10?
It's a 30 out of 10. Most
Damn.
entertaining wrestling show in the last 5 years.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
I agree.
Speak
As-
about it.
As FTR would say, 7 stars.
Yeah, man.
That was a hell of a match, too. FTR.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
It's funny. They keep kissing Bret Hart's ass, but they are a better tag team than the Hart Foundation was. The Hart Foundation was very 80s WWE, WWF at the time. Very scripted, very structured, always built towards the obvious finishers. I feel like FTR can innovate. They can do things on the fly, and they're the most balanced tag team in forever. I'm such a big fan.
I have to agree. Give me 1 second. I mean, I love FTR just because of their looks, but more than that, they're actually really good a wrestling group. Like they're like literally one of the best. And not for nothing. Like I watched Renee Paquin, Miss Moxley. I'm just gonna call her Miss Moxley. Fuck her. Fuck that shit. Miss Moxley. I was watching her interview with them and just like, they want to set a standard, and I applaud them, right? Because not for nothing, there hasn't been many tag teams to really go out there and really do it the way they're doing it. I mean, we had the Usos, right? And I'll give the Usos credit, but before the Usos, it was the New Day putting tag teams out there, doing all these matches and all that stuff. And now we have like the Street Profits, which holy shit, like not to just jump, but that match was amazing. that
Street Profits. The only thing is they're riding Montez. I hate to see what's going to happen, when they break the team up, because Montez that's a lightning bolt to superstardom right there.
he got bigger, and they're salivating over it, and it makes me annoyed. It annoys me though, right? It annoys me that they're salivating on the fact that he's gotten bigger. It's like, oh, he's getting more muscle. Oh, he can be like Intercontinental Champion. Wait, let me do it right. I'm sorry.
Well, FTR did an interview the other day, and literally they were
There you go.
speaking about the same thing, and they said that there's one company that solely focuses on single competitors. They don't focus on their tag team division. And when they do focus on their tag team division, they focus on them to the point where they'll just leave them, as a side attraction. And then they build one rather than the other. Clearly see that with the Street Profits, as they're definitely building up Montez Ford and giving him more of a spotlight. But Dawkins is out there actually doing his thing, so people are gravitating towards him as well. So whenever they do decide to split them, which I think is going to be very soon,
I don't like it.
It's going to be something that we're going to be able to marvel at. But at the same instance, it's gonna suck because you have no tag team division.
Yeah, and I don't like it because, first of all, rest in peace to Shad. But I see them doing what they did to the Shad Gaspar and what's the name?
Crime Time?
I see it.
They had a much longer run though.
Yeah,
but I see it though, right? So they pushed Shad because he was big, he was strong, they pushed him, and then it didn't go nowhere. And then they did the same thing with Enzo and what's the name? They pushed they tried to push what's the tall one's name?
Big Cass.
Oh,
Cass.
Big Cass. They tried to push him, didn't work. They even tried to push Enzo, didn't work.
Because Cass couldn't talk.
Yeah, and Enzo can't wrestle.
And Enzo couldn't wrestle.
And they put him on 205 Live, which is where the wrestlers were.
Yeah.
It was just genius booking, really.
And he was a champion for a long time. But I see when I don't like when they do this shit. Like, let them be tag team champions. Well, they have been. Let me just be clear. They have been tag team champions. Not saying they haven't.
That run was short lived though.
Exactly. Let them have a run, a real good run. Not for nothing. Like, they deserve it. They fucking deserve it, because we're not going to get a New Day tag team champion ever again. We're not doing it. We're just
So here's my issue with everything, because in my honest opinion, if they do Street Profits, which they're going to do because of the finish that we'll jump into Money in the Bank a little bit with the finish of Street Profits versus the Usos, where Montez's arm was up.
Yeah.
So they're going to do a rematch most likely at SummerSlam. If Street Profits does not win this, they just break them up right now. Yeah.
Can I throw a wrench in the machine though?
Please.
They're so over. Do they need the belts?
Who? Street Profits?
Yeah,
I think so.
I don't know if they need them.
Don't.
Maybe Dawkins does to validate. Don't get me wrong, he's a talented dude, but he's not Montez Ford. All right, Montez Ford is a superstar in the making.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if the tag team needs the belt to be valid. I think they're entertaining regardless. They're going to get huge pops regardless. I don't see them as a must-have belt, much like former what did they call FTR when they were over there? They were the Revival.
The Revival.
Okay, the Revival needed the belts because they didn't have that classic WWE marketable look. They didn't have a strong gimmick. Their gimmick was being wrestlers in a company that hates the word.
And hot. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I left that out. But
sorry.
No, but it's honestly, I think they needed a tag team run to validate their space. I don't think Montez Ford, people are just waiting to watch him. You pay money to watch that guy, period.
And to me, if they do break up Street Profits, I feel like Montez Ford would be an amazing heel.
Heel? Ooh.
Yeah.
Heel?
I can see that.
I would put him like the cocky son of a bitch. And even if you put Bianca needs to turn heel. I'm sorry.
Really? Why do they do this all the time?
Bianca heel. Bianca honestly was a better heel than a face right now.
She did start off as a heel.
She was a heel. Put Bianca as a heel and put Montez as a heel. Put them both together. That's unstoppable.
Montez, you can make a storyline out of reality, because the whole wrestling community, like us, is talking about how this guy's the next big thing, or one of them. And I think you can write a storyline around him starting to believe his own hype and starting to come in. I'm better than you. He does the turn on Dawkins that breaks up the tag team. He gets instant, like mega heat, nuclear heat, and then he comes and then he rides it for a few weeks, and then the eventual face flip will be the biggest pop you heard, and that'll be a WrestleMania face flip or something like that.
That makes
I don't-
sense.
Look, I
Oh.
love fantasy booking. It never gets old.
Yeah, I know. Where's our fantasy book? Where's our theory? You know.
Yeah, where's our theory? Our theory is that we started talking about Forbidden Door and immediately got onto Montez.
Yeah, I know. we'll get to Forbidden Door because you said it's a 30 out of 10. So we'll get.
It was a wrestling clinic. I mean, there were some botches, there were some sloppy things, but honestly, I've never been so entertained by a show in my life.
What was your best? What do you think was the best match?
That's like
Wait, we're talking about Forbidden Door. Or we're talking about
Forbidden Door.
Let's get Forbidden Door out of the way because it's the older show.
All right, true. Yeah.
I believe it or not, I like Mox. I just like watching him work. Too much blood. I feel like he's going to the blood every time now. It's a bit much, but every time I watch Moxley wrestle, you feel like he's just one step further removed from feeling handcuffed in WWE. Like we watch Cody leave, and he's a bastard for doing it. But on top of it, like you get the feeling that Jericho's going to make a move back soon or whatever. I don't think Moxley's ever going to leave unless that company goes under. I think he's so happy right now, and he looks it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm going to go with Mox's match in terms of pure entertainment value. But even the opener, when you got Chris Jericho in an opening match and they come out like the Backstreet Boys, all in sync, and they're all dancing and posing and everything, really living. Everybody's having a damn good time, and it's evident.
You know,
and then Will Ospreay's a star too. That's it.
Oh my god,
Ospreay versus Cassidy, that was incredible. And I think, in my honest opinion, I think Orange Cassidy was the breakout star of Forbidden Door.
His gimmick got over when AEW launched. Orange Cassidy, the wrestler, got over at Forbidden Door.
Yeah,
that man can go, and it was fun to watch. He kept his own against what many feel is pound for pound the best wrestler in the world. And I love it. I loved it.
The battle of the dirty blondes. That's what I called it. I was like, who's who? They got the same cut. But
I like how they turned Ospreay heel without anybody knowing who the hell he was, or supposedly not know, because I don't think he's working as a heel in Japan. I think he's kind of a tweener.
I thought he was a heel in Japan.
I don't know if he's like, but he really
when he won the title, he was a heel though, right?
I don't watch
Juice was the heel out of all of that.
Juice is a heel.
I don't know though.
He's the one with the original IGP US championship.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't watch a lot of New Japan. I have full disclosure. So it did, in many ways, this was my first introduction to a full Will Ospreay match. I've seen highlights all over the internet. Man works stiff, but safe. And I love watching him work. But Cassidy stayed with him. It's fun.
Yeah.
Oh man, Forbidden Door was an amazing event. Like to see those wrestlers like just to mesh well together. I mean, granted, there were injuries. There were, but
everybody buried the show. They saw these injuries, and everybody said, "There's no way in hell this is going to come off. It's going to be the biggest flop."
Thank you. It's just the fact that it was a great show because you had all the injuries in the beginning. You had Jungle Boy, Bryan Danielson. Who else was injured? CM Punk. You had all these big names that are injured, and they were like, "Oh, this is going to be a crappy show now." This is the best show.
I forgot he got injured that night too.
I think what happened was it was like a sports movie. You know, like when like the big star of the team gets hurt and everybody rallies behind it. Instead of people hanging their heads and say, the other people said, "I have an opportunity to become a star tonight." Mm-hmm. Nobody gave the Ospreay Orange Cassidy match a shot in hell of being the match of the night, and they did just that. Yep. Moxley, everybody still thinks he's a fake champion. He proved why he wasn't. Like it was one good thing after another from people you weren't expecting. Seeing Pac win, that was another one. That man has deserved gold for so long.
Yep,
phenomenal win. Great opening match over some real name talent, and they let the underdogs take the night. And Tony Khan, he gets a lot of criticism, and some of it's rightfully earned. But I have to say, Tony Khan let his team do what they do best, and that show benefited for it.
Yeah,
and then
I agree.
And then we had the debut of Claudio.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal match.
That was beautiful. Yeah. That was.
I mean, I was more surprised by the sun coming up that morning than he was the surprise. it was pretty obvious it was going to be him. But
Yeah.
at the same time, though, he's another guy I think is going to really benefit from not having the shackles. Vince McMahon decided early on that guy's got no personality and he's got an accent, so therefore he can't be a champion. Meanwhile, there's a guy named Gunther who does the same thing.
Who
And he
thought
can't,
that?
and he's got, yeah. So I think he's going to feel free. I don't know how long it's going to be before he's kind of a mid-carder again. I don't know if he's going to hold all the top gold, but I think he's going to be like Moxley here and just kind
Speaking
of breathe.
of Gunther,
Yeah, I mean, well, the original plan was to have him debut at Ring of Honor, so he was supposed to debut Ring of Honor Death for Dishonor.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but then they pushed it because there was so many injuries.
Danielson being
Yeah,
injured.
so Danielson was like, that's the only person I would trust to have an outstanding match. And
I thought it was going to be Johnny Wrestling. I thought Johnny Gargano was
I
going
thought
I
to
don't know
was-
if did you watch the media scrum afterwards?
Yep.
The media scrum, that's exactly what Tony Khan says. He's like, listen, he was supposed to debut at Ring of Honor, and then Daniel comes up to me and he's like, hey, I think we should get him. He's like, I already have him signed, so what's up? And 2 weeks out, he already had someone.
yeah. I'm listening. I was happy that Claudia came. I was like, oh shit. One day we got to do this. One event we got to do like a live reaction while we're streaming, just playing in the background.
I
Just
would
watch
love to do that.
Yeah.
have it like, because obviously you don't want to get tagged, hit with the band or anything like that. But have it playing in the background and we just reacting live to it.
Yeah, we don't have to play the sound of it. We could just literally react.
Yeah,
I'd love to do that, but my internet's so slow sometimes. You
It's
guys would
fine,
all
though.
be celebrating, and then 5 minutes later,
but it's fine though. Like, we can do it. We can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll definitely want to do it one day. So CM Punk's match was
CM
a
Punk.
little sloppy.
Wait, who?
CM Punk.
Was it CM Punk? No, he didn't wrestle for Forbidden Door. Wait, no, he didn't. Moxley's match was messy a little bit, but it was good. The Jericho Society versus what would you call it? Eddie Kingston's team, I guess. The team of Eddie King. I liked it, and then I was scared at some point because they had Sammy Guevara versus Claudio to start it off. And then when they had them started off, I was like, okay, because they were in that middle part, right? And I was like, oh shit, somebody's gonna slip and hit and right in the middle. I was like, oh shit, I hope somebody doesn't slip. And I saw a couple of times somebody that in between the ropes, they got tangled up between the ropes because somebody tried to throw somebody over and they got caught in the middle. I was just like, y'all may need to make up your mind what y'all gonna do, because some of y'all getting caught in the middle and getting tangled up. What was it? Garcia got caught in got hit in the throat with the ropes when I think he was trying to get tossed over, and I was like, oh shit! He choked himself.
So the note that I had about the match, I said, Wheeler Yuta is going to be a future champion.
But he is a champion.
I mean, future AEW champion. I know he's the ROH Pure champion, but
I think Daniel Bryan. Well, yeah, I can see him being champion, not AEW champion.
No, I mean like Mid Atlantic or TNT. I mean,
I definitely TNT.
I can see that.
Yes.
I can see that. I don't know if this faction is benefiting him that much, because the other guys all had a storyline. They had history with Regal. I don't see where he fits in here. I like him, and I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing for him, but I don't know if this is really going to be the thing that gets him over. Factions are funny like that. Like the one thing, the biggest criticism I have about AEW now, and I'm a big fan, but everything's factions.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a Dark Order, a House of Black, okay, and then a Death Triangle, all three of which could be interchangeable in terms of what the vibe they're giving off. I almost wonder if maybe there should be some type of consolidation and then maybe get some single stars out of this. Like Pac doesn't need to be in a faction right now. because they don't have
No,
a
he don't.
personality anyway.
No.
That triangle doesn't come out and cut promos.
But doesn't
Yeah.
it feel like, to me, it's just a nostalgia back to the 90s? Because 90s in the WWF at the time, it was mostly about factions. It
But
was
for
about
every DX though, there was the right to censor. For every there were a lot of junk factions that were kind of put together to give some wrestlers, like the Job Squad was put together because these are guys who were being underused.
yeah.
And that was the beauty of it, because they were making fun of themselves and it was self-referential. I
Like
think
the
that
Spirit Squad.
the Spirit Squad's another one. These are all guys they couldn't find a gimmick for,
Wait,
so let's make them shows.
what was the faction back in 2015 when it was like Curtis Axel, Bo Dallas,
Oh, it was the
Axel Rose, and Adam Rose or something like that.
BT. It was letters. It was like
no, they were like the new Job Squad. Oh God, okay, hang on.
Drew
my God.
McIntyre. It was Drew
No, it
McIntyre.
wasn't, no, not 3MB. I'm talking
No,
about
yeah, no, not 3MB.
Okay.
no.
What was,
I think
who was in it again?
it was Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel,
The
Adam
Social
Rose.
Outcasts.
Social
Yeah,
Outcast,
Social
yeah,
Outcast.
Yeah.
That was a tag team. That wasn't really like a group.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no, yeah, that was a faction.
It was Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, and Bo
right.
Dallas.
Didn't
Yeah,
they also try to start a faction, like an international faction? It was supposed to be Rusev, Sheamus,
the League of
and-
Nations.
League of
Yeah,
Nations.
the League of Nations.
They
That
could
was
have been great.
Wade
They could have
Barrett.
been great.
They could have been great. Wade Barrett, Rusev, Sheamus, and
Bad News Barrett. I loved him.
What was his name?
Alberto Del Rio.
The guy who, Alberto Del Rio. Yep. I mean, right now there's a lot of factions, right? I think, what's his
Where
name?
AEW?
Too many
Yeah.
in AEW.
Yeah, I think, what's his
Yeah,
name?
but they're coming out with the trios championship, so at that point, that's perfectly fine with me.
True.
It's an afterthought, though. You know, we're long past the years of the Fabulous Freebirds. I don't think, in the New Day, like you guys just said a few minutes ago, it's over. New Day will come back for fun. They're not coming back for gold.
Can I ask a question before we talk about Blood and Guts? And speaking of tag teams, because Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus with Christian Cage now. How do you feel about Christian Cage and now the newly healed Luchasaurus?
I honestly think they saw Edge turn heel and they were like, there you go. We're going to do that.
I think it's cheap heat. Listen, I know he had the Pope's blessing from Matt Hardy to talk about Jeff the way he did, but I think it's in bad taste. Jeff Hardy could have really hurt somebody. Jeff Hardy made a lot of bad decisions using that for entertainment. I didn't like when Vince got a little too real back in the day, and I feel like this is an unnecessary shot. And then, talking about, okay, Luke Perry died, 5 years ago? I guess it's not news anymore. And clearly Jack Perry said, okay, we can make this joke. But Jack Perry's also 23 years old, and if Tony Khan asks him to do something, he's going to do it.
Yeah, but
I thought it was a cheap shot.
Yeah, his mom agreed to it too.
Because they're Hollywood people, I guess. I don't think there was any bad intent behind it, but I think it was cheap heat. And let's let him being a heel and splitting up Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus generate the heat.
Yeah.
The thing is that, and I agree with you, is that Christian is a heel. Like, say what you want, Christian is a born heel, and he can do heel tactics without doing the whole, yes, Luke Perry passed away.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff Hardy was arrested 500 million times.
I mean, he's had years of being a heel, so he's never went that route of being a heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I thought, I'll be honest with you, as somebody who likes dark comedy, and we do a lot of that on our show, I don't mind those types of jokes. It seemed out of context for a show with a lot of kids in the audience. I guess the older I get, the more sensitive I am to that. Like, to come out and say, you sound like the sober brother, inside I'm like, wow, that's a great line. But I don't know if this was the right venue for it.
Agree.
Yeah.
Like, Jeff Hardy's really going to do some shit.
He's done. He's not coming back.
I hope he's done. I hope that he's out. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I am the biggest. I hate people. I would not hate. I dislike people with DUIs, with things like that, who do it multiple times,
through multiple years.
multiple times. The fact of the matter is that you didn't learn the first time, you didn't learn the second time, you didn't learn the third time. You need to go. You had this opportunity handed to you in AEW. You were literally about to get the AEW Tag Team Championship in that ladder match.
Yeah, for sure. They were winning
Who was going to get
belts.
that? And you fucked it up by
Big
doing
time.
this. If you do, get an Uber. I don't care who you are. Get an Uber, go back to where you need to go. Instead, you want to get behind the wheel and do what you need to do. Nah, seriously. Like,
But why is Jimmy Uso still employed? Was it Jimmy or Jay? I forgot.
no, Jimmy. I say the same thing about Jimmy. I
Yeah.
say the same thing. I think they should go too.
I mean, he's still working, and his girlfriend got fired for having an opinion. You know what I mean?
Oh, opinion that's right.
But the point is, it was a dissenting opinion. You didn't put lives in danger. Jimmy Uso's a repeat offender too.
Yes, he is.
So there's a double standard going on in the industry. I think Tony handled it well. He said, "We'll support you, but the onus is on you now. Get your ass better, otherwise you're not coming back here because you're going to kill yourself or somebody else in the ring."
Mhm.
Yep.
Which scares me. Like, it scares me a little bit because as much as I dislike Goldberg for him trying to kill the Undertaker overseas, by the way, I'll never.
They got over it. Why can't you? They
Wait,
forgave
what
each other.
happened? I didn't hear about this.
Oh, Goldberg, he had heat exhaustion, and he was trying to get him up for the jackknife.
Oh,
powerbomb.
this was at
Not the jackknife powerbomb, whatever his thing was. The
Crown
body slam.
Jewel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that.
And he nearly brained Undertaker, but the combined age in that ring was 109 years old. I think at that point it was more silly of the bookers to expect them to perform in 110-degree heat, in front of under the lights at their age. And Goldberg had ring rust.
Even Undertaker said he shouldn't have took that match. He's just like, no.
But he did, and Goldberg. Everybody says he's dangerous. He's no dangerous than half of the other people in the
Bret
league.
Hart can't wrestle anymore.
Bret Hart wasn't going to wrestle much more anyway, and he agreed to that stupid storyline where he had the metal plate attached to his chest.
Goldberg doesn't have no remorse for what he did to Bret Hart, though.
Because what do they always say? It isn't ballet. You're in a game. My moves are power moves. I'm sorry you were not ready for that kick, but don't act like you weren't expecting a super kick. You guys rehearsed it. You got too close. I'm not a huge Goldberg fan. I was back in the day, but Bret needs to get the fuck over it.
I mean, when it's something that you trained for and you love for, like he was like, I have more respect for Bret Hart because he was born into this, right? This is his
love Bret Hart.
This is his was his livelihood. He was born into this. He wrestled into his father, the whole family. Like, it's him. It's his being. And now he can't do something that he loves to do. And it's.
But you ever get the feeling that Bret Hart, there's part of him that still thinks this is real? Like, I get the sense from him.
I think for him, yeah, because of how he grew up in like how he grew up.
And there's a right way and a wrong way to work. And I agree. Goldberg was probably too untrained. Okay, and William Regal gave him a clinic. That was the best documentary I've ever seen. When William Regal actually went off script and made him wrestle, and he couldn't do it, and he was he was waiting for the 4 moves.
When you think of an industry that took not only your brother, hey, catching hands, what's up? When you have an industry that takes away your brother and even your brother-in-law, yeah, I mean,
you can take the business seriously without forgetting that it's entertainment. And I think Bret Hart sometimes forgets that because it was unfortunate what happened. I'm a big Bret Hart fan. I liked wrestlers that looked like it. They made it real. They blurred that line. We all knew it was scripted, but we wanted the people that made it look real. And working with Goldberg probably was a big mistake, but I don't think Goldberg set out to hurt anybody. and he needs after 20 some odd years. It's time. Shake hands. If you can forgive Vince McMahon, you can certainly forgive Bill Goldberg. Sorry.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess.
Also, catching hands. I don't know you, but I do actually have a beard. It's gray. I do have one.
It's a little faded, but it's there.
What did y'all think about Blood and Guts?
Oh,
Blood and Guts was awesome.
Hot follow up.
I'm not I don't. I guess I wasn't okay with the beginning of it. I mean, it just seemed a bit rushed because they put all their focus into Blood and Guts, but Blood and Guts was awesome. I preferred that over. I think maybe the last War Games that I saw.
I think this was honestly, if we're including War Games back in NXT, I think this was the best one out of all of them. Here's why.
okay.
Here's why. I think we had the best build up to the War Games in terms of Jericho Appreciation Society, and then also Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. By the way, Santana, feel better, please.
Yeah.
And
What happened to him?
Oh, in the middle of the match. So I think it was a botched move with him.
It was.
Who was it? Was it Garcia or was it?
It was Garcia because he paid for that when he got tossed into the ropes.
It was like a backbreaker or something. I think they was going to do a backbreaker or a pile driver, and then his knee collapsed.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why you didn't see him at the end in the top of the Blood and Guts cage.
Okay.
What are they saying there? Is it his ACL? Because that's a year out.
Yeah. Actually, I remember that now. Yes. So apparently it was his ACL. He tore his ACL.
Say goodbye to him for a while.
Yeah.
But it's also, I guess, kind of good in the same instance because they're looking to split up Santana Ortiz. Only because yes, because they already have friction. If you notice when they showed them, like if you look at previous episodes and they show them, they're not standing next to each other. They're standing on opposite sides of people.
You talking storyline fiction? Or
no, like there's heat between the two of them.
Because if they were tweeting all week, kind of burying that. I don't know if that's true. I think that sounds like a Dave Meltzer observation.
Not a Dave Meltzer. Oh shit!
I mean, it might be real, but they did their best in character to kind of diffuse that. So hopefully that's not the case.
You know, there's been a lot of knee injuries for the last couple of months. Like Kevin Owens was out for a while. I think since WrestleMania, honestly. Now Ronda's out for a little bit for the knee.
Right? Oh,
Ronda has a knee injury?
Ronda wrestles 3 times a year. Who cares?
Yeah, she's out now.
Sorry, I'm a little harsh on
that knee tweak. She was like, "Oh shit!" She wasn't playing. She tweaked her knee a little bit.
Is she injured though? Because I thought that the plan was for her to get a rematch at SummerSlam.
Yeah, with Liv.
Yeah, she tweaked her knee a little bit though. She really did.
This is good. Let Liv have the title for a while. Let it mean something. They played hot potato forever with this title.
Yeah, it needs some new blood, right?
Well, you know who's going to take that title off of
We know you're fucking we know your fucking queen's gonna come and probably do that.
I don't think so. I don't think they rush it.
They shouldn't do it though.
They saw the reaction. Somebody backstage was watching that reaction. Michael Cole's reaction. Everybody,
him, by the way.
Well, whatever, but I think he sold it better. He's doing some of his better work lately.
Mm-hmm. The way you feel about Cody Rhodes is the way I feel about Michael Cole.
Wow, strong words.
Strong words.
But
what's that fucking dude name? Not Michael Douglas, who works in the back. Sean Hayes. No, Michael Hayes. Yeah, the way you feel about Cody, I feel about Michael Hayes too. Fuck him.
But with Blood and Guts, it was the best build-up. The best 2 people, in my honest opinion, started with Sammy Guevara and Claudio.
Yeah.
I was a little scared, though. I was a little scared.
The way that the order of the people going in was perfect, with Jericho being the last one and being scared. Everything, except for what happened with Santana, everything was great. We saw the blood. First off, what's his name? Not Angelo, the other one.
The one with the ponytail, black hair. I forgot his name too. It was
Yeah,
Matt something,
Matt Parker or something like that, or
something like
something.
that. Yeah. Matt Parker's the guy who does South Park.
South Park, yeah. He was a bloody mess. And then did you see the promo that he did after the match?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Well, he gets busted open fairly easily. What was it? The anarchy around in the arena. He
Yeah.
was the first one to be bloodied, and he was fully rocking the crimson mask.
Was he
Yeah.
blading though, or was that legit cut?
I think that was it had to be bleeding, but it was in the very beginning of the match.
Oh, maybe
So
not.
as they're panning around the arena and they show him, he's already just full red. I was like, how? It just started.
And then you also made a superstar in Claudio. And then you also made this matches, because you see Eddie Kingston didn't get the submission. It was Claudio who got the submission. So you got now Eddie and Claudio going at each other, even though they say that they're cool. They could go back to that.
It's friction because Daniel Bryan's out for a little bit, so now you have Claudio and Eddie having that friction.
So
and they've had heat with each other since Ring of Honor. So
yeah,
really, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Oh, they're building the reality into the storyline.
Yeah,
now. They're probably cool backstage. They're not exchanging Christmas cards though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So I think they'll work stiff, and that might.
How
be
much animosity does Eddie really hold for a lot of people from Ring of Honor?
I think
he's a
Eddie,
New Yorker, so
yeah, he's from Yonkers. Come on now, he's not. It's a little different.
He's hot though. I give him that. I love his eyes.
Eddie Kingston's a good performer, but he's another one that you feel like at any given moment, like a memory's going to spark in the back of his head of his dad not hugging him or something, and then he's just going to start going ape shit in the ring and actually hurt you.
Yeah, right. What's his thing with trying to set people on fire? Like I've seen that in like the past couple episodes.
That's not a New York thing,
Brad. I think that was the best description of Eddie Kingston I've ever.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I mean, the guy, he comes across unhinged and he sells it well. But he's another one that I'm like, at any moment he might start working for real, and he'll turn a work into a shoot very quickly. And I would be afraid to get in the ring with him.
You know what fucks me up though? It's like when he gets all fucking flustered and shit. There's an interview, he's like, "Man, forget this. I'm going to catering." I'm like, yeah. I'm like, he really going back there to go to catering and sit there to eat. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll go ahead, Eddie. Because he's done that multiple times. Like, he's like, tired of this, man. What happened? Because he went in there, I'm going to catering. Don't talk to me.
I tell you right now, though, an Eddie Kingston Claudio payoff is going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't think I want to see it.
Why?
That might be that Ring of Honor match that they wanted Claudio to win.
I mean, maybe. I mean, maybe I don't. Maybe the reason I don't want to see is because I'd rather see Claudio and Sammy go at it, like really just one-on-one by themselves for a good while, or even Garcia. But I would not want to see Eddie and Claudio. But if they have history, cool. Fuck it. Let's just.
No, yeah. I looked into it. That their matches are top tier.
And honestly, they're going to build up Ring of Honor to be anything because they don't have TV. You're going to build up this pay-per-view. You're going to have to do it on AEW television.
That's what they're doing. They I think next week is the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion is supposed to be.
Oh, the Briscoes are going to be there too.
On Rampage.
Yeah, he's going to be on Rampage. Yeah, that might be tonight actually.
Yeah.
Are the Briscoes on coke or something? Because that's what they look like, or are they just really good wrestlers because they missing teeth?
No, that's the face of America right there.
The Briscoes.
Are you talking about Briscoes?
Yeah.
You don't even have to say. I was like, yeah, that's the Briscoes.
like, are they on coke or are they just?
But
Oh wait, are they really related to Jared Briscoe? Like who used to
No, I don't think.
Oh, Okay, I was like, that's his son's. Like, yo,
No, their gimmick was they were like mountain people, and they kind
So
of shed it.
sorry. So sorry for jumping in, but are you weirded out that there's no selling of tickets for All Out, and it's about to be 2 months into the pay per view, and they're about to sell Grand Slam?
I think they're probably deciding what venue to use. I
yeah.
think they're probably thinking they can get a bigger room, so they're probably holding out as long as they can.
They
'Cause
just
All Out-
they just use United Center for Forbidden Door. So
So where's All Out supposed to be this year?
Always in Chicago.
Well, it's always at the Now Arena, which is in Hoffman's Estates, which
Okay.
is 20 minutes away from like central Chicago.
Well, the
But-
question is WWE going to be in Chicago around that time?
No, they're at Clash of the Castle in the UK.
So they're overseas.
They're overseas.
But I think AEW is leaning on Chicago a little high, a little heavy.
Well, you know why.
I know why, but it doesn't mean they should do it.
was
They did really well out west when they finally went to LA. Start tapping those markets. People watch it.
Actually, tap back over to the East Coast. Honestly, like when they come to Newark, it's fucking, it's a fucking ball. Like honestly, they do well good numbers.
Are they selling out though?
yeah,
All right.
But speaking of All Out, they leaked out some of the match card of All Out.
I don't want to hear it. Well, maybe I'll hear it.
Come on.
So the first match is the obvious one, which is the Young Bucks versus FTR, winner takes all.
Ooh. If the Young Bucks win that, I'm turning it off. That's
Yeah,
what I
this
want
has
to
to be FTR's moment.
They're gonna have so many. What they gonna put the belts around their neck now?
The AEW World Championship match is supposed to be Moxley versus Malachi.
Ooh.
How though? Because what's
Don't matter.
Okay,
That's gonna be good.
Okay.
He just, I think, I didn't get to watch the match fully, but I think he embarrassed freaking Brody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a sign House of Black is coming from.
I don't care about the storyline. Make it a rankings thing. Let's just say Malachi ranked high enough, and let's just put him in the ring. They'll tell their story in the ring. I think that's going to be awesome.
Okay.
And then it's supposed to be Pac for the All Atlantic Championship. It's supposed to be Pac versus Andrade.
Ooh, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Let's go back. Let's go NXT Black and Gold.
For the TNT Championship, is going to be Wardlow versus Miro.
Ooh. Hey, remember a few minutes ago when we said we have to do a reaction show?
Yeah.
That's the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the TBS Championship, it's going to be Jade versus Athena.
They better give it to Athena. Just saying. I'm tired of Jade at this point. Love her, but it needs some freshness.
The character's not growing at all.
It's stale.
Yeah.
It's a little stale.
She's talented, though. I like her.
Yeah, I love her, but
she needs to upgrade.
She needs to climb the ranks a little bit again. Like now, this matches just seem a little too easy for her, and she has a squad now. Before she didn't have a squad.
Make
now
it easy. She say she wants to relinquish the title to, or move on to Thunder Rosa. I'm good.
Yeah,
with
well, I don't know why she hasn't though.
Like,
because they want to build Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
speaking
that's
of
fine.
Thunder Rosa, it's going to be a 4-way with Thunder Rosa, Ruby Soho, Tony Storm, and Chris Statlander.
Where's our dentist? She's just out of the running.
But she has a match. She has a match.
Number one contenders match though, right?
Probably.
So that's going to be the 4-way.
I like Chris Statlander. I think she's still too inconsistent. When she's good, she's great.
Yeah.
But there are times where she looks like her head is elsewhere, and it's an inconsistent performance thing with her.
Wait, hey, Chris, who, where that big head ass girl? The girl.
I wasn't even there for that, but that was funny.
That was so terrible. Yeah. What's that girl with the big head?
With the girl with the big head.
And then the obvious match is going to be Kingston versus Claudio.
Okay.
And then it's supposed to be a no-holds barred match between Christian Cage and Jungle Boy.
Oh shit!
Ooh, that's got
No
potential.
bar.
I like that.
And then it's supposed to be, and you said it's going to be the number one contenders. It is the number one contenders. Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter.
Jamie Hayter, out.
Damn.
Find somebody else.
Damn, Brad.
Nope, that's the only bad match on the card. Honestly, that sounds like the greatest 7.5 hour pay-per-view ever.
Oh, I guess so. She's not
And
there.
then the last match was going to be Danielson and Yuta versus Brody and Matthews.
God almighty, to get this whole card in, they're going to have to start like early next week.
Yeah.
That's a
So
long
10
ass
matches.
card.
Okay.
Now, are any of these on the pre-show?
Where did
So,
you?
so
where did
the
you see this?
buy-in, they said the buy-in is going to be
Oh
the
my God,
women,
more matches.
it's going to be a women's buy-in, and it's going to be Ricky Starks versus Swerve for the FTW championship.
That's got potential. That could be a lot of fun.
When are they going to reveal the
Trios.
trios championship?
I don't
Probably
know.
it all out.
Yeah. Either all out or Grand Slam.
Maybe Grand Slam. That actually, to get eyes on that show, that might be it.
Where'd you see this? Because I saw Bleacher Report had like predictions, and none of them are like similar to them or identical at all.
I just saw it on Twitter. Somebody posted it, and then somebody retweeted it. Like,
Okay.
Oh, are we getting excited about somebody's fantasy tweet? Oh no! Hulk Hogan versus. No, I'm just kidding.
but it seems like the way that they're going with the storylines, it seems like I would say 7 of the 10 matches seem legit.
If that thing is 50% correct, I'm watching that pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely Young Bucks versus FTR.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be Wardlow versus Miro because that's the way that they're leaning towards. It's definitely going to be Kingston Claudio, Christian Cage Jungle Boy, Jade Athena, Moxley Malachi. I would say, especially after what happened with Brody, it has to be Malachi.
I'm jazzed about that match. If that comes to fruition, that's going to be great.
The only one I want to see how they get to Pac and Andrade.
That's going to be purely a wrestling thing. Well,
It could be the Bleacher Report says it could be Pac versus Malachi.
Nah,
we've seen it already.
But we've seen it. Yeah, we've seen that already.
But who did they say is going to be Moxley?
I haven't even gone that far in the list. They also have Swerve versus Keith Lee. Because they've been butting heads like every week.
About fucking time.
But you know what? That team didn't have a chance to be together long enough to have that kind of heat.
I wouldn't want that.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
They also have instead of it being Claudio and Eddie Kingston, it's Blackpool Combat Club versus Eddie Kingston and then Santana Ortiz.
Let me tell you this.
Nah.
But Santana
I'd rather see Keith Lee, right? Be Keith Lee or I'd rather see Keith Lee going for the TNT title against Wardlow, giving Wardlow some fucking competition, right? Because Keith Lee's athleticism and Wardlow's athleticism, like them just going back to back with it. I'd rather see that than have Keith Lee not stuck in a tag team, but yeah, Swerve. Again, he himself, I'd rather see him at least try to go for the AEW championship or even Keith Lee. I'd rather see them go for it. Like they don't need to be in a tag team. There has to be some single competitors to give Moxley some fucking matches.
Agreed, but storyline wise, do you see my problem with that? That team barely came together and they're already
I
fighting.
agree.
It was rushed, and I don't know if that's based on something where they don't want to work with each other. I think of the two, I think Swerve is going to get the bigger push. Keith Lee should get the bigger push, but he won't. Because I think Swerve is a more marketable guy. Keith Lee, he's an odd dog, and I love him for it, but he's an odd guy to market, all the big words and everything. He's a different kind of cat, man.
And there is T. So him and Kingston butt heads.
Who?
Him and Eddie Kingston butt heads. And and you know the reason why.
Eddie and Keith?
Yeah.
No,
Why?
I don't know why.
Who was Eddie's ex? Mia Yim. And who was-
Ooh.
Women.
Personal beef.
So
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Wait. So Mia Young hit that? I gotta talk to her about that. How big is it?
we could get
I'm sorry.
Moxley and
Sorry.
CM Punk because
I
he's
just-
only gone with a
I
foot
want to
injury.
know. I just want to know.
I think we get that at Grand Slam.
Grand Slam. Nah, that's pay-per-view. That's
Yeah, but
pay-per-view.
you know what? They treat this Grand Slam for ratings wise as a pay per view.
No, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah, so I think honestly, I think they're going to front load Grand Slam with some really big matches. I actually
Because Grand Slam had Bryan Danielson versus
Omega.
Adam Page.
Yeah.
Oh no, that
No,
was
they had Omega.
no, that was his debut.
that was
wasn't it?
Omega. That was Omega.
No, that
yeah.
was that was at Arthur Ashe when he fought Kenny.
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
there.
Grand Slam.
Yeah, I was there for that.
And they had the draw.
Yeah.
I thought Danielson debuted at Grand Slam.
He
He
debuted.
debuted at Dynamite like a week before. We were
Oh.
there.
Yeah, when
My
you
bad.
got sick.
I drink a lot. Sorry.
I had COVID
Yeah, he got COVID.
and I was in the stands.
Oh, great.
He got COVID. We went.
Super spreader Chris. Change your name. Do it.
Luckily enough, I didn't get COVID. I was just like, okay, cool. I didn't.
Well,
I didn't get that.
you had the vax, and then me, I had went to get the. I think I had gotten a test that day
Mhm.
because I felt good. You know, I went, I got a test, I got a rapid test. The rapid test said I was negative, so I was like, cool.
Test on me.
Got to the arena, chilled for about an hour or two, and that third hour, I was like, no, this is not it. Then when they reset the ring for Rampage, Al just looked at me and was like, I'm sending you home in an Uber, bro.
Yeah, we got to change your name right now to Man Has No Immunity.
Man has no vaccine. How
I
about
actually
that?
just recovered from COVID. So yeah.
Oh, really? How you doing?
Oh, that's
All right.
that's why I haven't seen you.
Yeah, I
Oh,
had,
wow.
so this was before Pride. I had COVID. I came back from Double or Nothing and I got COVID.
How did it hit you though? You all right?
No, I'm good. Literally, so I had a lingering cough throughout, but now I'm fine. Sometimes I cough maybe once every 2 days, but
I think
I'm
we're
good.
getting to a point now where it's going to be like, oh, it's November, it's COVID season, and I think we're just going to get to that point now. But
Yeah, the summer.
I don't.
COVID.
Well, I just don't want to see numbers anymore. I'm tired of hearing how full the hospitals are. People had the flu. People had other things. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
I'm just glad to hear you're feeling better, both of you.
thank you.
I'm good. I'm good too, Brad.
But
I'm sorry.
any final thoughts about AEW before we go to
Money in the bank.
I got one final thought. Cody Rhodes made a big fucking
I
mistake.
knew it. He had to say something about Cody Rhodes. It was coming.
I am nothing if not consistent.
Oh, actually, I do have one question. What do you
Okay.
think of Wardlow winning TNT Championship?
Well deserved.
It's a rest stop on the Final Destination.
Which
What do you think
is
of Final Destination?
Oh, they're going to give him the belt. He's going to carry the company. He's got Roman Reigns type build up now.
Oh,
And I think I don't think they're going to treat him the same way, but for a while it seemed like he was going to be Ryback. But
Cryback, you mean?
yeah, but he's starting to show himself as a more versatile wrestler, and the storyline with MJF was great. Him overcoming that was great,
yeah.
and I think
That swanton that he did. What?
Yeah.
crowd's behind him. Bottom line,
Yeah.
he's going to make money for the company, and
Yeah.
I think that ultimately he's going to get that title. I do think he's probably one of the more likely guys to jump ship when his contract's up, but let's not discuss that right now.
Well, speaking of jumping ships to WWE,
That was the smoothest transition I've ever heard. Beautifully done.
Too bad Vince didn't do that. He paid everybody to do it.
oh God, here we go. But
12 million at that.
You guys saw my name.
Not for none. not to be perverted, but 12 million to like suck that old man dick. I'm like, maybe.
But that's collectively. It was a few women. It wasn't just like one.
And by the
So
way,
you
it's
want
$12
$1
million they found. It's $12 million they know about.
Yeah, they know about. Yeah.
What did you think about Money in the Bank?
Just want to say a 5 out of 10. I'm just gonna say this now before we. I'm happy they won. Both, by the way, not just she won the Money in the Bank because first of all, I would just want to say I don't think they are booking Raquel too well. She seems like to be the big show, women wise. She's
They
just there
they love building monsters.
she's just there to just boost somebody, literally. She's built as the big show apparently. Like she's just there. Like I don't like what they do with Raquel. I'll say
I
that.
told you they just love building monsters, and like they had that in Tamina, but now they have her in the 24/7 thing. So now they have someone else who's a powerhouse. She's a face though. She's not a heel. She's a
She
face.
doesn't need to be a face. She doesn't need to be a heel.
She will be though. You can't get over a monster without destroying everybody in their path.
Doesn't need to be a heel though. God damn it!
I thought this match. I'm sorry, this match.
It was good though, but
it was not good. I'm sorry, this was not a good match.
It wasn't.
And
didn't Becky Lynch miss a whole ladder?
we had to talk about Shotzi real quick.
Who?
Shotzi.
Shotzi, I understand that, and she got a lot of flack, and she had a whole Twitter post about it.
Mm-hmm.
But homegirl, and this is why I said she should not have been in the match. She shouldn't have been in the match. I would have taken Aaliyah over her, and I don't even like Aaliyah.
Shotzi had a tough night, but her track record doesn't show that she's a botch queen.
She was CM Punk during his last Royal Rumble.
I'll give you that. Like, everybody's entitled to a bad night. It's easy to criticize her because her bad night could end up paralyzing somebody.
Yeah.
But I will say this, her track record doesn't speak to that kind of performance. She wouldn't be there if it did. So I feel like she caught a lot of flack. The worst thing she could have done, though, was downplay it on Twitter. She got out there and immediately said, everybody's got a bad night, forgive me. And we're all good. And then she had Alexa Bliss behind her saying, hey, she's absolutely right. People don't know how hard this is. But it looked like she was forgiving herself. And I don't think that sat well with the Twitter wrestling community.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I will say, Becky and Asuka are like, those are two professionals. They know how to do a ladder match. And I feel like they've done ladder matches before because they did the whole TLC match with Becky, Asuka, and Charlotte. And they just know each other. I feel like they have, in my honest opinion, the best chemistry.
I think they've wrestled like 60 times.
Yeah.
Between house shows and everything else. They have chemistry. I also thought it was great that Asuka inadvertently felt up Becky after the match.
I knew you were going to mention that.
How do I not? You
okay?
You want to talk about hotness?
Okay.
You keep talking about wrestlers being hot.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, most of my dreams and desires were in that match.
I know. I know. When you saw, you were like, "You okay?" I'm okay.
That's how I make sure my wife's okay every night.
You okay?
I will say I was shocked to see Liv win. I was shocked.
Me too.
In a good way or a bad way?
No, I was shocked in a good way.
Yeah,
because it's something that I didn't think WWE was going to do.
Same. I agree. Like I don't think
I predicted. I said I thought it was going to be Lacey.
Same.
I thought it was going to be Lacey.
But I got to tell you, with Liv Morgan,
4th of July,
they repackaged her. I didn't like that.
She's a Patriot character. That's what I called.
I thought it was going to be Lacey Evans. I thought that was going to be her.
I don't think they know what to do with Lacey though. The Patriot gimmick is an easy go-to.
But we've seen it before, though. That's the problem.
We've seen it 1,000 times before.
Like even if you look at Gunter, he's a Patriot character. Oh, I'm like I call them Patriot characters because they're
Rusev.
Rusev, right? Proud of my country. Like we get it.
Even going back to the '80s, we had Sergeant Slaughter and then Corporal Kirchner.
The Mountie.
the mounting exactly, and then Bret Hart waving that flag everywhere.
British Bulldog.
Yeah, I like the fact
Boss
that they
man,
changed that
technically.
snob character. Like Lacey's snob character was off-putting and unwatchable.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like we're getting to see her in the ring. I agree with you though. I thought she was walking out with something.
Yeah.
But they're at a point with Liv Morgan now though. It was like shit or get off the pot,
Yeah.
and they did. And this can sound weird, but I'm glad they shit
Yeah,
because she deserves it. The kid's good, and I think that we're going to actually see what she can be now. It might not work. This could be one of those transitional championships, but I hope, and Clinton, I apologize, but I really hope they don't give it to your girl. Not yet.
No. I agree. Like, even though I love Char, I hope that Char doesn't come back and take the title. I think if they do it, they should do it maybe like Royal Rumble season. Give her like a good 3 or 4 months with it. And have,
More than that. 6 months.
6.
so you say she should go to WrestleMania with the championship?
I
Yes.
think she should get close, but I don't want to see hot potato with the women's championship.
Yeah,
That was the worst thing that happened
Yeah.
with Charlotte and Sasha. And we'll talk about Sasha, I'm sure, at some point in the very near future. But the one thing that sucked about that whole era was it seemed like every week they were trading that belt. And what happens when you keep trading it? It has no value.
Yeah.
It was Sasha winning at Raw, and then Charlotte will win at the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
US
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. Finish
No,
what
the
you're saying.
U.S. Championship with Theory and Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley now becoming the top face of Raw.
That was a great match. I enjoyed
It was a
that
good
match.
I agree.
But what I
you
didn't
can
like,
see the skill that Theory has. It was a shock for them to put him in the Money in the Bank, but we saw that coming.
I did.
I
Okay.
did.
I
We saw
didn't.
that.
I didn't, and I didn't like it. And
I didn't like it neither.
when I go to the match, I'll tell you why.
Real quick, though, devil's advocate on Lashley.
Mm.
It was not even 3 months ago that Lashley was fighting for the top prize in the company.
Thank you.
Now, I don't want to say that the U.S. title is an insult. It's one of the top titles on their shows. But doesn't it almost diminish Lashley at this point to be you were a contender for this and now you're for this? I think it's a better suited title, but you've got to transition him to it. I feel like this was a quick turnaround for Lashley.
Yeah, it was.
If
It
the
was.
WWE Championship was still on its own, I would agree with you. But now that we have it together,
But we never
That's
got
the only thing because they're building Roman, and when they continue to build Roman, and no one has been able to beat him.
You're not building Roman.
next?
Roman's already built. There's a difference.
Yeah,
between
but
building
they're still like, okay, he has both championships on him now.
But it's not
no
a
one has
build.
been able to beat him.
But he's not a build though. It's
No,
already he's at the top.
It's not a build.
I disagree. They are building him to maybe one of the most respected, incredible champions. A lot of people, when he first got those titles, though they didn't think he deserved it, they thought he was Vince McMahon's lackey. Now he's got to prove to the naysayers, the ones that don't believe he belongs, they've got to prove that, win them over now. So yeah, they're still building him for sure.
But I agree
And I
with that. I don't
love
think Bobby deserved, like, we never got a singles match with Roman and Bobby.
yes, we did.
No, we haven't.
At Royal Rumble.
That wasn't a singles with
Oh
Bobby.
no. I mean, Bobby. You said Bobby and Brock.
And Roman. We never
Roman.
got a singles between Bobby and Roman. We
No, we
never
haven't.
got it. And what they did was they just shoved Brock Lesnar down our throat again. So yeah, but they, like, for me, Bobby, like, I've always loved Bobby Lashley, right?
Really?
I've always loved Bobby Lashley, just his athleticism and just him in general. Like, I've always loved Bobby Lashley. I always felt that he never got the actual credentials that he should have gotten while he was there, right? Like, even after WrestleMania, the whole match with Donald Trump and all that stuff, he never got that push. Only to just be subjugated to John Cena and lose that shit. Like it was just dumb. And even now, he got injured at Elimination Chamber, right? He loses the title. Fine, cool, whatever the case may be, whatever. But then he comes back. He's not even going after Roman Reigns. He's not even a fucking, like, oh look, what can I get a singles match? Can I get a rematch? None of that shit.
Because he doesn't sell tickets.
It's dumb.
I hate to say it, but Bobby Lashley doesn't sell
He
tickets.
doesn't sell tickets, but now you have to understand where they're going to. Sorry for jumping into Theory right now. Theory's going to cash in at SummerSlam, and he's going to win the titles.
When he turns face, it's going to be one of the biggest moments of the last 5 years.
Yeah,
I've been saying that, and Al doesn't want to agree with it. They're building. He has the same trajectory as John Cena when John Cena first.
The crowd wants to love him, but they know they can't right now because his character's still heelish. But I tell you, but when all of the same shit that he does as a heel, he just tweaks it a little bit. It's going to be the biggest pops ever, man. I'm telling you.
Well, when he wins the titles, who's going to be the next person to take it from him? 17.
John Cena, come on, really?
You're not going to push. Like,
no.
I feel like Theory is going to be cocky enough to put the Money in the Bank on the line.
Why are we actually talking about Theory? And why are we not talking about Theory and not talking about Riddle, who deserved it? Who deserved
I want to hear. I want to hear. You think Theory's going to put the Money in the Bank on the line against who?
He keeps calling out John Cena, so I feel like he's gonna put his Money in the Bank on the line.
Only way that works is if Cena does.
Then you get John Cena's redemption, because remember he cashed in and lost.
There's no redemption needed for John Cena.
There's no look, and he's on the screen right now.
Good, get rid of him. Turn it off.
Yeah.
Mute it. Honestly, I think if you put John Cena up there and have him beat Theory, then you've just killed 8 months worth of momentum for Theory. Why on earth would you do that? The future of the company is not John Cena. John Cena needs to be staring at lights at the end of that match. That's the only way that works.
What about fucking Riddle? Why are we acting like Riddle's not the fucking future? We're acting like Theory's
Riddle is the future. It's just that Randy Orton has to get healed up so that Randy Orton can take the fall at WrestleMania.
But Riddle's trajectory is already going up, right? Why are we so built on Theory? Yeah, Theory can be the future, but right now it's fucking Riddle. And why are we not even why are they even pushing Riddle?
Because and I would agree with you. However, now we're gonna get Riddle versus Seth Rollins. Here's why I'm actually happy for this match. If you would have asked a year ago, Riddle versus Seth Rollins, you would have said hell no because of what Riddle's wife said about Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
No, Seth Rollins at the time didn't want to work with Riddle.
Yeah.
Now
Brock Lesnar at the time.
So now things have gone aside. To have Seth Rollins versus Riddle, that's a great match right there. That's a SummerSlam match.
I wanted Heist Part 2. That's what I wanted.
I thought
and I felt that was coming.
I thought too. I'm sorry, but I don't like Theory. I don't like the fact, I hate to say it like this, I don't like the fact when WWE pushes somebody, they always have to look a certain way. For one thing, they look a certain way, and because let's be real about it. Does Theory resemble John Cena in some way? Yeah, he does, and I don't like it. I don't fucking like it.
But that's everybody.
But
okay, no, it's not everybody.
What do you mean? Look at how cut up Montez Ford is. He got bigger. Look at freaking Angelo Dawkins.
He don't look like John Cena.
Started.
He don't look like John Cena.
He looked fat when he first started.
Like
Gunther.
Sorry, but
Gunther was a freaking blob, and look at him now, skinny as hell. He looks almost anorexic in his face.
Skinny.
I would agree with you months before, but I'm on the Theory train right now.
Yeah,
I will not accept the Theory train. I'm sorry. I will not accept the Theory train.
And so let it be written.
You have your opinion, dog. You have your opinion.
I can't accept it. I can't. Like I'm tired of the copycats. I'm tired. I'm really am. Like,
but there then you're watching the wrong company.
Yeah, but there was no copycat after Shawn Michaels, right? Who was the copycat?
Oh, well, Ziggler.
But he didn't have gold though like that.
He didn't have gold like that. He didn't matter
because they take the character.
Yes.
They take the character and then turn it into their own thing.
No, bro.
That's how it always is.
John Cena is a mold of his own self.
It's a template, and then they end up becoming its own entity.
Honestly, if you're Vince McMahon or anybody who's running the company without rape allegations against them, okay, who do you think is more prototypical to lead the company moving forward? It's Theory 100% of the time.
Yep.
And I like Riddle. I give Riddle. I didn't like Riddle for the longest time. I thought he was a stupid surfer gimmick, and I hated it.
Well, that's because they pushed that stupid shit.
But the kid's work rate is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, the kid can flat out wrestle. And watching him and Randy Orton playing off each other. I said it the last time I was on the show many, many moons ago, that Randy Orton's having fun, more fun than he's ever had in the ring, and it shows in his work rate. But now Randy's out, Riddle's getting a push. Honestly, he should be thrilled because it seemed like he was going to get fired a few years ago for being an obnoxious piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he is getting a push, but it's not. He's getting a push, but it's not the push I want really.
I don't know what you want for him. And the kid,
honestly, I want him like. What I want is if Theory gets the titles by some hook or crook, whatever the case may be, it'll upset me because I think Riddle deserves to have those titles before Theory does. Period. He's been on the main roster a lot longer. Theory has most recently came up from NXT. Riddle has been put in the work.
That's perfectly fine. I understand that, but I don't think they're gonna use this as a teaching moment to the point where he's going to win the title. Does he have an ultimate opportunity? Yes, it's a last man standing match between two people who are gonna beat the bloody crap out of each other.
Yeah.
So and literally he just cut a promo just now. He says, listen, it's either going to be Brock beating Roman or it's going to be me beating Roman. Either way, Roman is losing the titles this weekend.
But she's not.
No, that's not happening.
But
he also has a match against Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship again. He can most likely get demolished during that match and then not even worry about cashing in.
Yeah, he's losing that match.
What if
Riddle's going to hold that title for until next year?
This is just a what if. What if, and this is just a hype, just like a theory. He gets the U.S. Championship back, and then he gets the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. He holds 3 titles. You have never seen that before.
I will never watch WWE again after that. I'm fucking dead serious.
You're lying.
No, I will never. If that happens, seriously, if it happens, I will not watch WWE ever again.
You've never seen anybody hold 3 titles at the same time.
If that happens, I will not watch it ever again.
Is there a hold on? Is there a technicality on that, or is the contract for the undisputed?
The thing is that Seth Rollins is the only other one that had the title
for one championship.
Seth Rollins is the only other one that had both championships. He's had the Intercontinental Champion, and he's had the WWE.
Well, he had the US and the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
Then he lost the US Championship.
Yep.
With John Cena.
Yeah.
That's when Sting had
his 2 belts. He's had 2 though.
He's had 2, but no, I'm talking about Theory has 3 because he has Universal, WWE, and US Championship.
Yeah, and I won't watch it after that.
But then,
I mean, who watches that product now anyway? We're watching it and giving ourselves headaches.
But then Seth also had double championships too because he had the Raw. Yeah. Oh shit! So Lacey's turning heel. Great, thank you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Who did she turn on? America?
Who did she turn heel on? America? Oh, fucking...
I like her as a heel. I like the whole, the dress that she used to come out in. I like that character. So when they changed her and they made her a face, I was like, yeah.
Who she turned heel on? America?
Quotables, man. Quotables.
Somebody, I think the best, and I'm sorry for political stuff. I think the best tweet of the night on Money in the Bank was when Raquel and Lacey was like struggling with each other in the ladder. They said, "This is what happens when two people were storming the Capitol."
That's a good line.
It's true though.
A funny line's a funny line. I don't care where
Oh
you
my
land on the
God.
political
But it's
spectrum.
true though. There was a blonde hair white woman that was scaling the Capitol.
The best meme ever about January 6th was the one that showed all the people in the front climbing the walls in various stages, and they called it Honky Kong. And I lost my shit. I posted that immediately. It was one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen. Now, me and the internet, we have a love-hate relationship. I loved the internet that day. Reddit was brutal that day, and they nailed it. Honky Kong.
Oh my God! Not
Oh
Honky
my
Kong.
God.
Oh, they even had like the digital, like pixelated gorilla up top rolling barrels, and then you see one guy fall.
Yeah, it was.
It was fantastic.
Well,
So,
not that, but
I would still say another one was, remember when, and I'm sorry to talk about that, but remember when the girl got shot in the Capitol when the security guard shot her?
yeah.
They played Adam Cole's theme song and they were like, boom.
No shit. That's so good.
No, it's not.
It's entertaining. Come
I
on.
know, but Jesus Christ.
No, I mean obviously nothing was good about the day. Nothing was good about any of that. But
Speaking of Adam Cole, he's injured.
Speaking of nothing that was good was Bianca versus Carmella.
okay, so I will admit I skipped this match, but I heard a lot of bad stuff. I heard a lot of bad. I'm a Bianca fan. You know that from past episodes.
Yeah.
You know that.
I know you want to do terrible things to her, and Montez would probably maybe agree, depending on how much money you have.
Wow. That's a lot to digest there, pal. No, honestly, I'm a fan, but I heard the thing with Bianca is I think she's like a team that plays up to the level of their competition. If Bianca's in the ring with a really good performer, she's an even better performer. If she's in the ring with a not so good performer, her game gets lowered. And granted, you can only be as good as the person in front of you when it comes to wrestling. But I feel like she's kind of like a hit or miss. I like the character as a champion, and I loved her best performances. From what I've seen on replays and things like that, it didn't seem like her best night.
I think
because it's against Carmella.
Because it's Carmella.
She's not a good wrestler, but she's a hell of a performer.
Let me ask you a question.
Let me differentiate.
Have you ever watched Total Divas?
Not a minute.
Okay, I have. So in Total Divas, I believe it was Natty, or I forgot who it was, but said that she can't wrestle, and she's like,
it was Nia.
Nia, there you go. Yeah, it was Nia, but Nia was the one who was injured everybody. But
what happened? So here's what Total Divas was. It was Royal Rumble 2019. That was the one when Nia Jax was in both the men's and women's.
Oh, so she was still in the company then. Yeah.
Yeah. So what happened was that Carmella allegedly didn't want to work with Nia Jax because Nia Jax was injuring people.
Well, she's dangerous. She is dangerous. I'm not gonna say was. She is.
So Nia heard about it, and Nia basically said, like, you're a piece of shit about it. And basically here's the thing. I do like Nia Jax. Don't get me wrong. I do like Nia Jax.
I did like Nia Jax, especially watching her on Breaking Ground.
She's a straight shooter. Like she's
I love the way they built her character and her mother being there. I'm sorry, I'm getting all sentimental. I wanted the best for her because she had to work with people half her size and do it safely. Yeah. But after a while, where there's smoke, there's fire, and people were getting legit hurt. It's seemingly on a weekly basis. After a while, it stops being everybody else's fault.
Yeah,
it was when she injured Kyrie. I was like, game over.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, that's game over.
Yeah. I don't think it was intentional. I don't think she was trying to work stiff. I think she was inexperienced. And she might have been pushed a little too hard, maybe need a little more seasoning in NXT before she came up to the big game. They pushed her as a monster immediately. She was getting the Veer Mahan squash matches on Raw every week. And she was getting that treatment. And when you build somebody like a monster, there's extra special care that needs to be taken when you're facing somebody of value.
Mhm.
And I don't
Mhm.
think they did a good job training her to work with various styles of wrestlers.
I
And it's a
agree.
shame because I don't think she's a bad person. She comes from a great wrestling lineage.
I agree.
I think there's still a future for her if she wants it. She doesn't seem to want it. I
She
don't think
doesn't want to wrestle anymore.
yeah, I don't think she was booked for that show in England that got canceled.
Oh, oh yeah. Did you hear about what
The
happened?
Authors of Pain.
That was
So-
DOA.
And
I
did
was-
you hear that she got her deposit back too, even though she canceled?
Well,
Wow.
good for her. She made a big stink about it. She got paid.
Yeah.
But I
I
mean,
love the Authors of Pain.
I do too, but 350 tickets sold out of 10,000 seats. Be less ambitious next time. Maybe you book a VFW hall and oversell it. Don't come in here with I'm going to sell out an arena in England with a bunch of guys that were knowingly fired within the last 12 months.
Mhm.
You know, nothing against freaking what's his name.
I mean, at least
The-
they're
the
not
pro
CY.
crowd, but-
At least they're not CYN.
Don't even.
What?
Control your narrative. I don't.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I thought you were yelling at me.
No, Brad. He's saying
I'm used to it.
at least he's not CY. I'm like, don't even.
Oh, Braun Strowman, he's shit in the bed with that thing, man.
Yeah.
No, just CYN in general is just bad.
It doesn't make sense. It's an insider term. It doesn't make sense to the people who are actually going to pay real money to go see this
Mhm.
at all.
Yeah. But Carmella, she's
Sorry,
I
not,
also, I
Yeah.
also don't want to see half those people that are like claiming they're part of CYN. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
But the thing was that
except
I
Carrion. Except Carrion. Carrion I want to see.
I do like Carmella. I don't know why. I actually do like Carmella. I think her breakout was in 2018, 2019. It was after the SummerSlam match that she had with Charlotte and Becky. She actually had a good match when she lost the title. She had a good match. And
Did
we
she,
were
though?
No, she did. That was her best match. And then going with R-Truth. She was with R-Truth. That was her best gimmick. Her and R-Truth was really good.
Was it though?
You think her and R-Truth wasn't good?
I think she is. She's a pretty girl. I listen. I'm not trying. That came across wrong. I'm already painting a very bad picture for myself. I don't think she deserves the spot that she even has. And frankly, if she and Corey Graves break up, it's all over for Carmella. I don't get her when there's so many talented women in this company.
Where's Zelina?
who?
So Zelina,
Zelina Vega.
Oh right, where is she?
Somewhere.
Milwaukee. I have no idea. I wish I knew.
And I
Yeah.
like Zelina. Where's
I like-
Somewhere. They didn't get rid of her.
You know what's
Where's
weird?
Io?
I like her more than I like Carmella.
Where's
I,
Io?
think
I
she's
agree.
way more talented. I think she's way more talented. than
Oh,
Carmella.
Io's injured.
Oh, Io's
Oh, she's
injured.
injured.
Yeah, she should be coming back from injury soon, but she was
Okay.
injured.
But
Good. Have her marry Corey Graves.
I will say Zelina is a better wrestler than Carmella. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Carmella never
But look
got
at her
hot on
husband though.
Oh, it's Malachi. Yeah.
He's a beast of the ring.
And in bed too.
I'm going to say something very unpopular right now. And Glenn, again, I don't mean any disrespect. I'm not just trying to be dissenting. I think that Carmella got through. She's like the last vestige of the looks before talent movement. But now think about the talent that is in this ring for WWE and actually all over wrestling. I don't think she's upped her game enough year over year. Look at how much Becky has grown. Look how much Asuka has grown just by working with different people.
Even Zelina.
I will
Oh, yeah.
I will double down on that and say Mandy Rose.
Who?
I think Mandy Rose is honestly overrated.
Oh yeah.
She's
Yeah.
she's fairly one dimensional, but I think there's potential there. I feel like Carmella thinks that she is at the pinnacle of what she can be, and I don't get it. I don't enjoy watching her perform, and not a shot at her. She does what she does, and she's gotten very successful. She's come a ways from where she started, but I don't think she's made that leap. She didn't make that
hasn't.
Becky Lynch leap.
Like she has to do super kicks how many times in a
Do you
match?
think she got over because of the people that she was with? For example, she was with Enzo and Cass first.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was with James Ellsworth.
Yep.
And then she was with R-Truth.
Okay,
Yep,
so
she got
what did you just describe?
a whole bunch of nothing burgers except for R-Truth.
Well,
Brad,
It was a loud mouth.
break. Brad, you froze. You gotta go back.
Oh man, can you hear me now?
yeah, you
Yeah.
froze. Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry.
What?
Think about. So where did I leave off?
I don't know.
You said you got to think about it.
Oh,
said-
I did that. All right. Think about those. The three things they paired her with were gimmicks. Enzo and Cass were a gimmick. R-Truth is a gimmick, and James Ellsworth, I don't even need to justify. Okay, when you put her there, it becomes arm candy. They're doing the performance end of the wrestling bit. Not one of those situations graduated her to the levels that they're pushing her at now.
Even when they put her with Zelina,
I would say when she was with R-Truth, they pushed her a little bit.
Yeah, but R-Truth is a gimmick. I love the guy. I think Ron Killings is a tremendous wrestler, but he's not. But he's been painted into this corner with WWE. He's done some great things. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's done some great things. When he came out with the ladder for the non-ladder match, it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Yeah, immensely talented wrestler. Performer.
That was 31, right? The WrestleMania 31.
I think so. He comes out and he's like, "I'm ready." he's like, "Oh, you're not in this match."
Oh,
I thought that was a Rumble.
Was it? I forget what it was.
No.
I'm
it was Rumble. It was Rumble.
But I mean, it seemed like every week he was coming out and he was trying to be a part of matches, and he ran into the ring at one point, and they're like, "You're not in this match," and he just run out.
Yeah,
even on house
he even
shows,
made Brock Lesnar laugh.
Doing
a promo.
R-Truth, the moment that he met John Cena,
oh,
I loved it.
Ron Killings makes me laugh, but I also remember him in TNA.
And
he was a badass in TNA.
And then when he was before WWE, he was K Quick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
He looked the same from K Quick to now. He looks the same. This guy hasn't aged. He's Blade.
Black don't crack.
Yeah, he's
look at Lashley. Lashley looks the same 20 years ago as he does now. Bobby Lashley is I'm convinced he's actually like connected to somebody in
will you say this with Ron Killings? And I'm gonna say something that's very interesting. Will you say that he was the best in WWE that has never won the big title?
He came close.
Yeah.
He had that run with Cena. He came close. I don't think he needed a title either because he invented ways to stay on television.
Yeah.
And I give it to him. He made the hardcore or the 24/7, whatever it was. He made it fun. When it seemed like anybody and their mother could win it. The hardcore title used to be like that 20 years ago. Anybody can win it at any time.
I mean, Terry Reynolds won the title.
Yeah.
Godfather's Ho won the title.
Yeah, yes, she did. I remember that night. I cried a little. Honestly, I think R-Truth knows his role. I think he's like Ziggler in a lot of ways. He knows the role that he plays in the company. He gets paid well to do it. And he doesn't have to worry about job security because he's not carrying a company on his back. He's providing entertainment in between the bigger segments. And I think that's an awesome place. Carmella was latched on to all of these intermediary performances. Big Kaz and Enzo, fine. They were hot for a hot minute.
Yeah.
But she
was part of that when they were booming.
And they was about to win the WWE Raw Championships until the Hardys came back.
Yeah.
But would you honestly, putting the belts on them, what value did that have? Enzo was still doing his gimmick. Cass was still coming out with the hey yos or whatever it was that he did. He didn't really offer a whole lot to he's in better shape now. He looks good now.
Oh yeah.
It was the only way that they could win the championship because it was a ladder match.
Right. I never saw them as viable anything.
Carmella is just she's a nothing burger, unfortunately.
Well,
like I'll tell you right now, would Lacey Evans? I'll say this: is Lacey Evans a better wrestler than Carmella?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely, 100%. And she's saddled with a bad gimmick.
Yeah.
It's one, but she's going to make the most of it.
I still think Lacey should have won a title in NXT.
Yeah, I
She
think
should
so
have won a
too.
title in NXT.
Yeah.
I don't like the women's. I don't like the women's right. I just think it's too plain.
I like it.
I don't
Well,
like
I liked it when it was in NXT.
That
because
was
it
perfect for her character at the time. Now it's like, meh.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's amazing how many things from NXT that
I
were
didn't think of that right now.
didn't translate.
Yeah.
If you think about it, Authors of Pain, they were huge. Then also with the Ascension, you want to talk about the characters that were hot. Brought them up there and they were
I
jobbers
never
and they
liked
made
them.
it.
If
Never
Arthur the
liked
Pain stayed with Seth Rollins, they would have been fine.
I never liked the Ascension.
But they split
did
them up.
not care for that. I don't know why they won the NXT championships and won it
Because
for
they were less gimmicky. They brought them up and they immediately like really made them look like 50s horror films.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Chris,
it
I'm
was-
sorry, wherever you are.
it wasn't good.
Well, look what they
but
did with Bobby
speaking of-
Lashley. Nothing.
But speaking of going from nothing to something, the next match was the tag team championship match.
Amazing.
Street Profits versus the Usos.
A 20 out of 10.
It was the best match of the night.
It was the best performance I've seen from the Usos in 10 years. I'm not a huge fan of the Usos.
Whoa!
Including when they wrestled the New Day?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that I've never really enjoyed them. I thought that they were the most one-dimensional tag team.
I would even go with going back to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm never going to have a popular take on the Usos. Sorry.
All right.
It's just not going to be me. I thought they stepped up here. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. So I enjoyed the match despite them. And I thought they stepped up and they matched the level of the performance. But I'm not an Usos guy. Never have been.
All right. Well, what was the next match?
Wait,
Wait, don't let the conversation stop because I'm an asshole.
No, look, I want to wait till Ruben comes back. So so here's the thing. Oh, Chris comes back. Here's the thing. I love that match. The only issue that I had with that match was they should have shown the
shoulder up
when it was the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
You has to wait until
They had to change the camera around. Like you couldn't. Like, it was only on the replay you saw the shoulder up.
Why do you think they didn't do that? Because it wasn't intended. They have been good in the past.
It was camera view. It
But-
wasn't.
But they've been
TV
good
view.
about taking that moment, those sports moments,
Mhm.
and writing them into a storyline for the next night.
By
I'm
the
surprised
way-
they didn't really play it up.
By the way, Meltzer gave the Usos and Street Profits the best match of the night. 4.5 stars.
He also said Cody Rhodes was re-signing with AEW.
And the worst match for him was Bianca and Carmella, which
I can agree with that.
I agree.
I stand firm. Bianca
So I would
Belair
say
is a
that the
tremendous
best-
wrestler who played to the level of her competition.
So
And
Meltzer gave the Usos and Street Profits 4.5 stars.
you know, I gotta say this just real quick. Just
I could take that. It would have been a 5 if the titles changed hands.
Yeah.
can I just say this real quick? I'm a little tired of what they've. I'm a little tired of what they've done to Pete Dunne.
Oh, you
I'm
don't
a
like
little-
Irish gimmicks? Me neither.
I don't mind Irish gimmicks. I don't like what they've done with Pete Dunne. Like I don't like.
He's like a rabid animal.
He's
For me, Pete
he's
Dunne
not
is-
Irish. He's British.
He's
For me-
but he's a cartoon character.
For me, Pete Dunne is very AEW. He would do better in AEW.
Yes.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a wrestler, not
Yeah.
as a character.
He's
And
he's probably letting his contract run its course right now.
Yeah.
That's why
no,
he's
he's
doing this
enjoying
TV
being
show.
on TV. Make no mistake.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
enjoying the
he's-
money he's making.
Yeah, he's letting his contract run its course. It's like he's gonna deal with the bullshit for now, and then once his contract is up, he's gone.
But why did
But
they insult our intelligence? And this is
Yeah.
a side conversation if there ever was one. But why are you going to build this man, putting gold on him in NXT UK, and call him Pete Dunne, and then out of nowhere
Multiple
he's
gold.
Butch?
Multiple
And the
goals.
Now
fact
you're
of the matter is that he was one of the longest reigning NXT UK champions.
Right.
He had an amazing match with Tyler Bate at NXT Chicago 2017. and then he lost it to an even better match with Walter.
Yeah, the match with Walter was amazing.
And
I
then
That
don't
was a phenomenal
his
match.
run in NXT in the US, it was good.
It
He
was
was in the
amazing.
NXT War Games match. He actually did. He had a good run, even though he didn't win
The
titles.
title,
He had
yeah.
a good run.
He won the didn't he win the American title? Or was it the NXT United?
The North American Championship.
He won that.
He did.
Did he won it once?
No,
No, wait, he didn't. No,
he won a content. Oh wait, he won a contenders match. However, he did not win the title.
yeah, I just don't like what they do with Pete Dunne. Like and Brad's right. Why does WWE like insult our intelligence? Like it's Pete
Because
fucking
that's
Dunne.
WWE. And we'll talk about it in the last few minutes because we got to talk about the whole Vince and also Naomi and Sasha.
Yeah, definitely.
But the next match after the U.S. champion, no, not the U.S. tag team titles was the SmackDown Women's Championship match, and then the cash-in.
That was
So
good. That was good.
the Women's Championship match, it was boring in the beginning. However, it got better at the end.
It was boring in the beginning because I think they were trying to out submission each other in the beginning. And it was just all a bunch of like rolling around and shit. But later on, it was good. It did good.
Later on,
Natty showed herself way more in that match than I thought she has in the last couple of years. Like even when she had the title, I think she we haven't seen that side of Natty since she had the titles. I think this side that we see her in.
Yeah, she hasn't been good for a while.
Yeah.
She's just been one of those add-on characters, but she hasn't been good in a while.
I think it was a good match in terms of it was good.
It was solid. And even Ronda definitely showed that she upped her skill too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
I think it was a good person to go with Ronda.
Somebody that can challenge her, yes. And you know, they're close friends wise.
So here's what happened. And here's when I fucked up. I literally, as soon as the match ended, I was like, all right, bathroom break before the Money in the Bank match. As soon as I was in the bathroom, I hear Liv's theme song. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like mid-pitch right now. I'm like, I hear, I'm like, no, I'm so pissing right now. So after it, I was like, oh, it's going to be a cheap, it's going to be a way for Liv to lose the Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I honestly thought she was going to lose the Money in the Bank.
I honestly
it
thought
looked like she was.
I honestly thought they were going to give it so when I watched the match, I thought it was for some reason I knew it wasn't going to be Asuka and Becky, but somewhere in the back of my mind I thought it was going to be them anyway.
In terms of what?
Getting the briefcase. I thought.
I'm talking about the match when the bell rang and it was Liv versus
Ronda. Yeah, I'm just going back real quick.
I was like, oh, it's game over for Liv.
Oh yeah, I thought it was gonna be real quick, but before that, the ladder match, the women's, honestly thought
who you thought was gonna win the.
I thought Becky and Asuka were gonna both have the thing fall down and hold on to it.
Yeah, but we've gotten that before, though.
No, we haven't. Not in the women's.
So it don't need to happen. It don't need to. That don't need to repeat itself.
We never had somebody hold on to the Money in the Bank together. We never.
I wasn't upset.
Yeah, we did. It was Otis and AJ, and Otis ended up winning.
No, it wasn't. No, but AJ dropped it. Otis caught it. There's a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between falling together, holding it.
You're right.
Versus holding it together. So if they hold it together, who they both win, right? I thought that was gonna happen. I even had some hope for Raquel, but I was like, nah, they ain't gonna do that. I even had some hope for Lacey a little bit. I was like, they probably gonna give it to Lacey. But when Liv was like, oh, it's like, come on, Jersey, let's go. She
And
got
that's
it.
what I said. I was like, as a Jersey boy, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so happy.
Like, come on, Jersey.
I was like,
And then
finally somebody after AJ Lee to represent Jersey. I'm so happy.
yes. And when she got it, I was happy. But she was like, and when they had her backstage interview, it was like, yeah, I'm not gonna cash in this and that. And then when Ronda beat Natty, I was like, her music, I was like, oh shit. I was like,
I was
yo.
literally, my boyfriend was like, yo, and my boyfriend does not watch wrestling, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? I'm like, oh my fucking god, no. I literally was like, as soon as my piss was done, I was like, Liv is cashing in her money in the bank. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me right now.
It was good.
And as soon as I heard the bell ring, I was like, oh my god. And then next thing you know, I saw the ankle lock. I was like, oh, this is
yeah.
I love that they didn't have Ronda like heel out on her, and then she congratulated her at the end and everything. That's the whole nature. I like that. That was a good handoff. And by the way, that validated the win. She was actually elevated as a result of Ronda saying, "You beat me."
No,
Yeah.
I agree with
Yeah.
that.
I
I
agree.
thought, but the thing is that I was like, oh shit, we never had a failed women's cash in. This might be the first ever women's failed cash
I
in.
thought that too. Yeah.
And I like that Ronda's being positioned as a bit human. They've had her as this machine that can't be beaten, and then she shows up periodically. I like she got beat. She acknowledged it. She moved on. Somebody else is going to carry this torch for a while. Let her hold this title and defend it well and make her a better wrestler. I think she's a good wrestler. I think she could be a great wrestler. She's
make her better than Carmella.
Well, I'm pretty sure I was a better
She
wrestler.
already is.
I think I wrestled the stairs just getting up with this cane.
Brad,
You're talking to a guy who can't handle, like, I can't navigate a curb, but I could probably out wrestle Carmella. Wow, dude, Clinton's gonna kill me, dude. I'm sorry.
no. Unless you talk about Charlotte, I'm totally fine.
Well, that's the next episode.
Here's my question now. In terms of Liv, so it looks like they're building into. It looks like they're probably going to build into a triple threat now between Natalya, Ronda, and Liv,
which would be fine.
Which would be fine. But who do you think? Who would be the right person to take it off of Liv?
Well, Natalya is there solely to build up everybody else around her.
Yeah,
she's kind of fallen into that role now.
I think they're going
to. I feel like Ronda's going to take a break, and Natalya is going to be the one to take the pin.
I think I think it's going to be Lacey.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
I think it's going to be Lacey.
And then who takes it off of Lacey? Charlotte.
Raquel.
He will not give it up.
Rehash that, rehash that feud before she left and got pregnant.
Lacey versus Charlotte. Charlotte was going to face Lacey. So did you hear that?
So Charlotte comes back as a face
title to Lacey.
I don't think Charlotte comes back as a face. I think she comes back as her father. Her father always straddled the line of face and heel because he was an arrogant prick, regardless of what side he was on. I think she's going to come back as the hero or the heroine of women's wrestling. I think that's how she's going to handle it.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was in 2021, it was when Asuka was champion. Lacey was supposed to take the title off of Asuka, but Lacey was pregnant.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So, and then it was supposed to be Lacey versus Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
I'd like to see it because I want to see how far Lacey can go. I don't feel like we've seen the peak of her ability yet. Charlotte will test her. Charlotte can go in the ring. You'll never get an argument from me on that.
Yeah, I think when it comes to, I think we're gonna have a nice little feud though, because from what I see right now, Liv and Natty and Ronda is gonna have this thing, right? And I think Liv and Natty gonna have a thing, right, for a little bit. But in between that, I think it's going to be Lacey and Raquel, right? Because Raquel's a face. right?
Not for long. Not for long.
Not for long, but she's a face right now, right? So I think Raquel's gonna like beating Raquel because you have two big women, right? In some regard, wrestle each other, right? Lacey's gonna win and go off to fight a Liv, and then Liv's gonna have to lose it, unfortunately. But I don't think it's gonna happen so soon. I think it may happen like I don't know, Night of Champions, maybe even like Royal Rumble.
If you give this kid 4 months holding that title and
I'm
defending
saying
it,
6.
okay, I would love 6, but I temper my expectations. If you give her 4 months, but she defends it regularly, I'm a happy person. I really am, because I think they've done justice to the win and they've done justice to the character, and then maybe she can build herself even more by chasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Liv.
This.
Yeah.
So we forgot the factor. What do we do with now? So toxic attraction. So they lost the tag team championships this week.
Who?
To Toxic Attraction.
What? The NXT, right?
Not Liv. Wow. Mandy Rose, Gigi, and then
I don't know their names. I just don't.
So,
NXT is a wash for me at this point.
Yeah.
So, but
come on, Brad.
Actually, really good.
I don't know their names.
So Mandy's gonna lose the title at SummerSlam weekend. They're gonna come to the main roster.
Hopefully, if Mandy Rose comes up, cool. But she's gonna be a heel.
Is she a better wrestler now and a better performer now?
Is.
She is.
Yes.
I don't watch NXT at all.
I watch NXT when it's rerun. I don't watch it live, but I watch it like the day.
I watch highlights and barely.
Yeah,
I know Braun Breaker. Oh shit! I just forgot about Braun Breaker. I know that Braun Breaker versus Karrion Grimes, and that was.
I think he's overrated. I'm sorry. I think he's
overrated.
Oh
yeah, he is overrated, but it's the same thing of like I think Theory's overrated.
But
and guess what? And I'll tell you this. Hold up, I'll tell you this. If y'all heart bet is on Theory, wait till Braun Breaker comes up. But just saying.
But Braun Breaker does the same 4 moves,
and he's a legacy. Just saying.
But that's the only thing he got is that he's the legacy.
He's also
Theory don't have nothing. They're building him from the ground
up. Done wonders for Randy Orton. That's all I'm saying.
But he's a legacy of somebody that was not well respected by World Wrestling Entertainment.
His father was, not his uncle.
What did Rick Steiner do with WWE? Nothing.
But that's why he's Rick Steiner's son, not Scott Steiner's son.
I understand, but I don't think they're looking at him because they loved Cowboy Bob Orton.
He's meh by association.
I think they're building him up for a major fall.
Who? Braun
Breaker, because he is limited.
I agree.
He's limited by his size. He's not as athletic as he puts out there. He's strong, and he's got power moves. But
he looks like a guy I went to high school with and played football with, and I looked at him in the locker room. I was naked. I was like, that's all.
I think that he is a failed Batista.
Ooh. I was gonna say Goldberg with one additional move.
He does have a spear.
Yeah, but I mean they all do at this point. Even Edge used it, but Edge did it well because Edge picked his spots better. Goldberg, he lined up for it like a bull in Spain.
But props before that, props to Liv.
Like a bull from Spain.
And then now we have to talk about the men's Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I'm going to mute my microphone because I have so many thoughts.
No,
I've done a really good job of talking over everybody tonight, and I apologize.
No, Brad, stop. You're fine. Stop.
I realize you're probably all like, I wish he'd go away for another 3 episodes.
So it was Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre.
Stop it, Brad. You're fine. You're perfectly fine.
Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, Riddle, Madcap Moss, who won. And let's talk about this. So they did a whole battle royal in the beginning of SmackDown where Baron Corbin won, but Baron Corbin didn't get anything. And then they had to do a fatal four-way match where Madcap Moss won Money in the Bank. So shouldn't Baron Corbin have been in the Money in the Bank?
Yes.
That's what I thought that he was interrupting to bring out Corbin, and I was like, all right, cool.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too. I was like, okay, they're gonna bring Corbin. I did not know it was gonna be Theory. I was like, whoa.
Corbin would have made sense. It would have been nice to see him go back to Baron.
And Corbin would have made sense to feud the Pat McAfee thing.
I agree. All of this makes sense, and that's
Yeah.
why I don't watch as much WWE.
And the thing is that, if you're gonna put Theory in the match, have him qualify. He should have qualified and should have won.
I agree wholeheartedly. No jokes. I think the booking is questionable at best.
Yeah.
I think they wanted a fast track to get Theory out there in front of people. Not that he needed to be in front of people, but it was clear that this is the plan.
And I'm fine with Theory winning Money in the Bank.
I agree, but they could have told the story better.
Could have done it better.
They could have told the story better. This is all storytelling. Vince McMahon, for all his problems, he always said, "I make movies. Movies don't rush."
Well, it's a shitty script.
It's a shit script, man. This is like Police Academy 7. Like it's just not.
We don't talk about that movie. We don't talk about that movie. That movie does not exist.
So you know what my boyfriend said? He said, "You know what the best person was in that match?"
Riddle.
No, he said Theory.
Really? I thought
he did nothing.
I
said Riddle was the best.
Riddle was the best out of that whole.
Everybody had their own significant spots. It wasn't a great Money in the Bank, but there were some nice spots.
I thought Riddick Moss was great, and I'm calling him that.
I thought he was gonna have a couple of. I thought he was gonna win. To be honest,
you thought Madcap was gonna win.
It was either between him or Seth.
I'm not calling him Madcap Moss ever again.
You know what's
I'm not going to call him Happy Corbin either.
You know what's funny about the Money in the Bank match? You know what's funny about Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
No Ricochet whatsoever.
Well,
Ricochet
is waiting for his contract to expire. So
I mean,
yeah, but you know who else was too, though? I'm sorry, though. I apologize. I'm doing it again.
No,
it's fine.
Finn Balor was waiting for his contract to expire, and now look. Okay.
Finn Balor's wearing pants now.
Oh, and you know what?
With a purple do-rag. Not do-rag, a towel. Where the fuck that is? He looks like he's wearing Missy Elliott fucking garbage pants. The fuck?
I can't
leave.
I'm sorry for my horrible laugh.
I can't have a win.
Yeah, he even lost on Monday. What the fuck?
He lost. He did lose.
All right, but
so before what's the purpose of Judgment Day now? Like,
I think
Rhea to get over, but now Rhea is injured.
The whole thing's falling apart.
It's dumb. It's dumb.
I thought Damian Priest, to be honest with you, I thought was the push there. I thought they were trying to elevate him to intercontinental, and also Rhea, because she's a tremendous talent.
Right.
But I thought they were going to ride Edge. Why ride Edge out? Makes no sense. This thing just started and we're already removing. Angry.
Shitty script writing
is going to be cleared soon, so it's going to be Rhea versus Bianca at SummerSlam. So
I'm fine with that.
Rhea's going to win the title.
You think?
Nah.
Has to be.
Nah.
I think she puts on a good show. They keep it on Bianca, but Bianca ends the match looking like what the hell just happened.
Yeah, I don't think Rhea's
I don't think they do. No, I don't think so yet.
Maybe because it seems like titles always change at Clash of Champions. And it's right before the new year starts, right? And then you have a Royal Rumble in January. So there's always a title change. Charlotte gets a title at Clash of Champions. She does. And then Royal Rumble, she has a fight. She doesn't lose the title until WrestleMania.
Who's
Charlotte? Charlotte. It always happens.
Eddie Kingston has his jockstrap hanging out right now.
Who?
And I'm living.
Who?
Eddie Kingston. He has his jockstrap all hanging out right now. And I'm like,
I still want to know what that length is. But anyway, moving on.
Really?
Sorry.
By the way, have you seen Eddie Kingston as like as a 20-year-old.
No.
I have a picture.
Well, show it up.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
he really got a whole jockstrap with his ass hanging out.
Roundhouse, we're changing the name of the show to Girth at Ringside.
It's all out there too, like for real. God damn, he white. But anyway,
Chris
he needs some.
Statliner's big ass head is on the screen right now.
He that big ass girl. But seriously, like I don't get it. I don't get it. Like this whole WWE script writing thing is trash. Just trash.
It's on the fly booking. It reeks of a creative team that doesn't have a week to week plan. Like they're literally working show by show. They're not saying this is the long term plan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that doesn't work. That doesn't work. They're also doing a lot of 50-50 booking week over week.
With
This
who?
guy wins and this guy wins. This girl wins and this girl wins.
Yeah.
With who?
It's not doing a great job of establishing characters as dominant, as purposeful, or as meaningful. You know, like I don't feel like I'm invested in anything going on in WWE right now because it's so slapshot. I just don't have the emotional investment
For
into
example,
anything. Go ahead.
Nakamura just won.
Right?
Okay.
When's the last time Nakamura won anything?
2 pay-per-views ago.
So so now they're building up Nakamura versus Gunther.
Why?
Who cares? Because
Well, no, I won't say who cares. I'll say make me care, but build the story. Why is there heat between them? Why? Because one has a belt and one doesn't. Give me a reason to care. And when you get there, I'll be there. Believe me, I've got a long history with WWE, but I feel like the turmoil that's going on publicly right now is not even close to what's going on backstage. I feel like that's a mess back there.
and not for nothing.
Before we talk about this, I'm going to do a hot take real quick.
Okay.
I think Riddle took the spotlight from Rick Booge.
From who?
Rick Booge.
Oh, Boogs? Oh, Boogs?
You said Riddle?
I think Rick Booge is what's his name? Rick Booge?
Boogs.
Oh, Booge.
Yeah. He's
Because
hot
he
too.
was over.
Oh, big time.
Muscled Freddie Mercury.
I called what I called him that time, Sweaty Mercury.
Sweaty Mercury.
Freddie Mercury, yeah.
I think he was over, and then after he got injured, that's when Riddle got his like.
He was over with me when I saw him on Twitter playing his guitar butt ass naked. I was like, okay. I'm over it. I'm with it.
Now that we can talk about the whole Vince McMahon thing.
Vinnie Mac.
My friend who works at Netflix has now confirmed that they have taken off the documentary that was supposed to be released.
What's the documentary about?
Oh, it was Vince McMahon.
The Vince McMahon documentary. They took it off.
Well, it was a biopic. Didn't they have somebody playing him, like Bradley Cooper or something was playing him?
It's now taken off.
Well, because the guy's an absolute pervert and he finally got caught.
I mean, we saw him live being a pervert. How do we not expect?
Because it was television. That had nothing to do with reality.
Yeah, sometimes television has a little bit of truth.
Allegedly, that the whole thing came out and it was the whole 2005, and then everybody looked at who was fired in 2005, and they said it was going to be Christy Hemme. It's not Christy Hemme.
Who is it?
Allegedly, it's Joy Giovanni or Amy Weber.
Who's Amy Weber?
Who's Amy Weber? Was she like a backstage?
Remember she was with Kurt Angle and JBL?
No.
I kind of do, yeah. What about her? She was blonde.
No, she was dark hair.
Didn't they make her blonde? Because it's apparently WWE likes blondes. They're
They
worse than Playboy. No, not really.
Amy Weber was during the time when Joey Giovanni was feuding with her a little bit.
Amy Weber.
Oh, she's hot. I don't remember her, but my God.
Amy Weber.
Yeah.
Why do I?
Actually, she's got an article from 2 years ago about bullying that she got from Edge and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
So, she didn't have a good time there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gathering.
So she had a recent interview with Joy Giovanni about the time in WWE, and she said that it was a fucked up time during that time, and I believe her now because after everything that's going on right now, bitch, it's bad.
This takes Vince out. Like, I'm going to roll the dice here. I'm a gambling man. I'm pretty sure Vince McMahon steps away now because $12 million
No,
in
I
hush
think
I mean, look what he did. He brought Stephanie was outside of WWE. Let me just give you some background. Stephanie was already doing some other shit with another company with the FaZe Clan, which is a big conglomerate at this point, right? She's part of their board of directors and shit. She was already out the door. Triple H was already out the door. When this whole thing came back, what did she
allegedly,
do?
WWE's board of directors probably said, "You guys better come back." Because-
allegedly Triple H is back in NXT.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
he is.
he
Yeah,
came
yeah, no,
back
he
in-
is. He is.
but I'd love to see it go back to what it was. I don't know if that. I mean, that's a slow burn, but Stephanie probably got called back. But just let me throw this out there for speculation.
Good.
What if Stephanie left because she finally heard what a pig her father really was?
Mm.
You know, everybody keeps talking about family reasons. You know, her family isn't just Triple H and her children.
No, it
Her
ain't.
family's her dad. And she definitely, that's a family issue. As somebody who is been so outspoken for women's rights and so outspoken for Me Too, for somebody to come out there and say, "How, by the way, your dad's an absolute fucking pig."
Not to mention, your mama was part of Trump's cabinet.
You know, her silence is complicity, and that bothers me too.
But
Linda
talk about
McMahon
how-
should not be silent right now.
let's talk about how Stephanie was silent with China.
With
She
what?
was.
With what?
The way they treated her.
They treated her like shit. Agreed. Stephanie had to stay silent though, because she was the guy, the one that ended up with Triple H.
Triple H.
The
Yeah.
one that ended up with Triple
I
H.
don't think it would have been appropriate for her to come out and comment on that.
No.
So I mean, that was a legal decision. Her lawyer said, "No, you're not going to say a word of one." I don't think she had bad will towards China. I just think those two fell in love.
She just got the dick. That's all it was. She got it.
Your job at Hallmark is secure.
She secured
I don't think she should have commented on China because she stole somebody's boyfriend. Bottom line, but that doesn't make her a bad person. That means it happens every day.
I mean,
in fact, I'm pretty sure everybody on this call has done something like this.
Nope.
It's not illegal. What Vince did is.
I never stole anybody's boyfriend.
Liar.
I wish. I never have. No.
Liar. You hooked up with him last night. Yes, you did.
I wish. I've never stole anybody's boyfriend. Some people stole my boyfriend, but I never stole anybody's boyfriend.
But then you acknowledge it happens.
I stole somebody's boyfriend before, so it's not good.
Yeah, I know that part.
I just think
it's happened to me. So yeah, I do. I feel like China a little bit.
Stephanie was the one that spearheaded naming it the Women's Championship versus the Divas to make it more respectful, more representative of what they were. I think the fact that she might have just heard what her dad really did, and again, if 12 million in hush money is being reported, there's 48 million that isn't. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe it. This man didn't just become a pig in 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah. It's and also too, you got to ask the question.
We knew about this. We all knew about this.
No, we didn't. We assumed based on how he presents himself, but that is not proof. Now we have what seems to be documented proof of money exchanging hands.
I'm sorry, but the Kiss My Ass Club, regardless if it's entertainment or not, is some truth to it.
That made him seem like a badass CEO. That's all that did.
Kiss My Ass Club, there's some truth to it. The bras and panties match, we all know there's some truth to that shit. So these ideas weren't just manifest. There's these just Vince is a fucking pig.
Well, apparently so were all of his writers and his performers and everybody else that went along with this.
That was Vince in the world. This is some good shit.
It was edgy television.
You heard the story about what happened on the fucking plane ride, right?
I did, but again, that doesn't make him a rapist. What I'm
No,
gathering
no, no,
now
no,
is
no.
that he's starting to teeter into the area of creepy rapist.
The thing is that Vince didn't do anything about anything that happened on that plane because apparently Vince and Linda were on a different plane.
Okay, so no accountability.
Exactly.
Name a company in this country that's run by a billionaire CEO that doesn't have that level of disassociation.
I wish
I think that's corporate America.
Even I work with a billionaire, and yeah, I can't even say that.
Yeah, I don't think any of that paints him as guilty. It may paint him as an asshole.
Yeah,
Doesn't paint him as guilty. But there are emails and money exchanges going on for a bunch of people that claim they were sexually assaulted by Vince McMahon. And I'll be honest with you, I got a hard time watching the product, and I hope to God his kids figure it out. I really do.
Especially Shane. Well, you know what's weird? It always makes me think of Shane. I like Shane as a person, right? But it makes me think of Shane because Shane stepped away years ago and came back. I have to think like maybe Stephanie was the last person to know about all this shit, but maybe Shane stepped away because he knew about some of this shit, and one of the main reasons why he stepped away, right? Because it's easy to, how can I say this nicely? It's easy to kind of almost in a way bring your son into something like this because he's a boy, but if your daughter like sees something like this, it's, you know, it. I hate to say it like that, but it just, you know.
I agree to a point. I know what you're getting at, and WWE definitely seems like an old boys club.
Yeah,
but they brought Stephanie in the storylines early and often.
Oh
and
yeah,
then they put her in a quote unquote position of power, at least on TV. But she also did great things with their brand. She runs their marketing.
Stephanie was a born heel. Shane, even though yes, he was a heel back in the 90s, he's a face low key.
Yeah.
And in real life, he's probably a good person.
Yeah.
He's probably really embarrassed by the fact that their nearly 80-year-old father is getting sexual assault litigation against him.
But it's also a reason why he left. Though. Like Shane's not on TV no more. Shane stepped away. I mean, what's the guy? I'm about to say Tony Khan. It's not Tony Khan.
Wasn't he given the boot though?
He was fired for stepping in and overtaking the Royal Rumble match.
Yeah, he was fired from the Khan dude, the other guy,
Nick Khan.
Nick Khan fired him.
That's still got nothing to do with the fact that they have a very real family issues to deal with.
Yeah,
and it's not going to pour over in the storyline. Vince injecting himself into, hey, welcome to SmackDown, welcome to Raw, and I'm going to show up sitting with my son-in-law and daughter at UFC right after our pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
Okay, he's doing his best to save face right now, but it reeks of desperation.
Bad. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm kind of enjoying watching it because watching a desperate man fall after all the people he's hurt, I'm kind of good with it. I don't stand for this shit. I will never will. I enjoy their product,
especially now that honestly, and let's talk about it. Naomi and Sasha Banks.
Let's go.
The other shows can wait. We don't need to discuss them. This is important shit.
Can I just say, and I'm gonna talk all topic real quick.
No, go off.
This is something that I needed to get off my chest for a while. The fact of the matter is that you have two African American women who, honestly, you could have built them as the Titan Tag Team Champions at the time.
Yep.
You could have said Naomi and Sasha Banks. You could have said the Mega Powers, the Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan of the era right now. And you build them up as a bullshit tag team champions. You build them to the fact that you have to give one to Ronda Rousey and one to Bianca Belair for them to take the fall. How the fuck are you going to do that? Bianca is over. Bianca is already over. Are you going to feed her to Naomi? Why would you? What? Two people who should be over. One who should be over. That's Ronda Rousey. But the fact that it's a failed experiment because you built her the wrong way. But Bianca Belair, who is actually a great experience, you gonna build her to someone like Naomi? What the fuck? Like that's
On a
some bullshit. Naomi should have won the women's championship at least 3 or 4 times. Let's be real. And the
I
fact
agree.
is that she didn't win the Divas Championship is because she didn't have the Bella syndrome and she didn't have the boost for it, or she didn't suck anybody's dick for it. Let's be real.
I think you just nailed it at the end. On a wrestling level,
Talk that talk.
I hate that they buried those titles. They mean nothing.
Yep.
They mean nothing. And they buried what could have been a really cool thing to do. We're bringing up new talent, elevating new talent, trying to show new faces through the tag team champions for the women, and they blew it. On a on a human level, the fact that 2 black women dissented with the authority, and I don't mean the character of the authority, I mean the actual authority. 2 black women dissented, and they were let go immediately. Whereas a drunk driver, somebody who's a repeat offender, is hired and paid and promoted. Okay, I think
her fucking husband is still there.
that's what I mean.
Go off, y'all. Go ahead.
Her
Go off.
husband has had
Clinton, you got it.
multiple DUIs. No, we'll leave it at that. Her husband has multiple DUIs, and he has stayed there, and he's in the top of the company because of his fucking cousin.
For the record, Charlotte Flair, and again, not a shot, Clinton, but it supports the story. Charlotte Flair did a lot of things that a lot of people in WWE weren't happy with. Most notably, getting pictured with her husband in AEW at their events.
But she never did anything that was fucked up to the point of what.
No, not even close. But what I'm saying is, if Charlotte Flair had walked out that night, does she get treated the same way Sasha and Bianca? Not Naomi.
Not.
Of course not. It's disgusting the way they've been treated. I think Sasha's got a history of being outspoken, and it's okay to be outspoken. Sometimes you're going to piss off your boss, and maybe you get fired for it. But they fired them systematically, like it was done. Like the instant they walked out that door, that was it. Their careers were over. Then they removed them from this. They took them out of the clip before the show. It was awful the way they've treated them. And I see only good things from both of them elsewhere.
From what I read, they were like, "Oh, you got to fix your attitude."
Sorry, Altaron. I have to.
Go.
I'm mad right now because this is how I'm mad. You have Sasha Banks, who, in my honest opinion, is the best female wrestler that WWE has ever had since.
By the way, might be the best in the world right now.
I'll even say probably the best WWE has ever had. I'll even go to maybe. Okay, because she's accoladed, I'll say Trish Stratus.
I agree. She's more athletic than Trish Stratus. I'll say that.
I'll just say because of accolations. I'll say because of Trish Stratus. You have Sasha Banks. You let go Sasha Banks, who is honestly the best female wrestler in the world right now. I don't care about she won this championship and things like that. Sasha Banks put people over. She put Bianca Belair over.
Without complaint.
Yes.
And that's a big thing, too. When it came to in the ring, she had no problem putting anybody over. She put over Bayley 100 times. She put over Charlotte 100 times. She had no problem doing that in the ring. It was the backstage shit that she was outspoken about. And she got burned for it.
And then here's the bullshit about it. Is that you put her against Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey.
Ronda.
Because she should be lousy right now. You put her against Ronda Rousey, who should have been over because Charlotte put her over at WrestleMania. And because you had a failed experiment at that, you had to put somebody else under, and that was Sasha Banks. The fact of the matter is that you have to put other people down to put your bullshit experience over is bullshit. Bianca Belair was already over. You didn't have to put Naomi to get her down. You put women's tag team champions in individual Raw and SmackDown to put people over when they should be tag team champions.
They never gave those titles an ounce of
They did it,
credibility
and it was
because
because
the teams didn't have names. They
And it was
didn't come
because
together as teams. They were
it
just
was all because of the
singles wrestlers.
evolution. It's the evolution. We have to do the evolution. No, fuck that shit. I'm done. I'm tired of it. Sasha and Naomi deserve 100% better. Maybe Naomi will come back to wrestling. I don't know.
Oh, she
Sasha's
will.
gonna have
She will.
AEW right there.
And Sasha will kill it there. Naomi might have a harder time because she's more
Yeah.
of a performer
Sasha
than she's a
don't
wrestler.
need.
No, I say Naomi may just
Sasha
like,
don't need wrestling no more though. She
Sasha
got, she
don't
got
need-
Star Wars now.
He got Star Wars. Now I just want to. Sasha got Star Wars. Now I want to just put this out there. Star Wars has not did a movie yet. They're doing TV shows, but when they do start doing movies again, Sasha is going to be in those fucking movies. They're on like the Disney Plus and the movie, like these movies, these TV shows on a smaller platform, but everybody gets to see them, right? She's in there. She's a face character. She ain't dead. But I'll tell you right now, this is just a small stepping stone for Sasha.
But
She's
Sasha-
already on that movie. She's already on that movie projector.
All right,
right
but
now.
she grew up
I will be
worshiping
real.
wrestling. She's gonna wrestle.
Besides Bailey, Sasha was the first woman to be a heel and a face and go over as both.
Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Sasha
Honestly,
was over as a heel in NXT, and Sasha was over as a face in 2016.
it sucks because we have to deal with.
And even as a Charlotte fan, Sasha should have won WrestleMania 32.
Yeah. The problem is that we have right now is the fact that it sucks because we, they whenever in a corporate world or business or anything like that, when it comes to black women, when it comes to black women, they always have to have their attitude checked or something like that when they're just expressing how unfair they're being treated. Oh, get your attitude checked.
But besides Bianca Belair, when was the last woman as an African American to hold the title longer than Bianca Belair? There has never been.
There's never been.
You had Naomi who won the title. Well, Naomi won the title.
She's won the title multiple times, but she's never held it that long.
No, Naomi held the title for the first time was because of injury. The second time she defended it against Lana 3 times, and then defended against Natalya and lost it. That's one. Let's talk about Sasha Banks. We already know about Sasha Banks versus Charlotte.
Sasha Banks versus Bailey. Sasha Banks versus
Charlotte wins it again. Let's talk about Alicia Fox. When she won the Divas Championship, she only held it from Fatal 4-Way to SummerSlam, which was only 2 or 3 months, and then Melina came back and Melina won the title.
But you know what they said about Alicia Fox, though, right? Attitude problem.
Exactly. But let's talk about.
You could tell though.
And then let's talk about Jacqueline. When Jacqueline won the women's championship back in 2000, and
she should have had the championship a lot longer than when she had it.
When she beat Harvina, and then who won the title against her? Stephanie McMahon, and that was a month later.
Yep.
They
just
really,
looking at it, she won the championship. Jacqueline won the championship and lost to Sable 2 months later.
And then, yeah, exactly. We talk about 1998 when Jacqueline won the revised women's championship in 1998, and then that was all to build up Sable. That was all just to build up Sable,
who wasn't really a wrestler. She was just. She wasn't even a wrestler.
Fucking wrestler.
She was Carmella.
Don't tell Brian that.
So over the fact that they honestly, and then they actually had women who were people of color who were actually good in the ring or actually could do well with the title, but they never gave it to her. Look at Shaniqua.
Wow. Yeah.
Shaniqua should have been a women's championship title run.
I mean,
Look at,
you're absolutely
look at
right.
Crystal. Crystal should have won the title at least.
Crystal who?
Bobby Lashley's wife, Crystal.
Oh shit! Yeah, ex-wife.
Yeah, no, I'm saying ex-wife.
Yeah, ex-wife. Because he's married to Asian woman now. He's been married to her for a
We're talking
while.
about those two. Shaniqua, she was a dominant person. She should have won at least the women's championship during her title reign.
Yeah, I mean,
Crystal, if Crystal lasted maybe one more year when the Divas Championship was formed, she would have won the Divas Championship instead of Tori Wilson. It's just I feel like they deal with it in terms of they think that we are going to take a step back, but when we actually take a step forward, they want us to bring us a step back. It's a bullshit thing. Sasha and Naomi deserve 100% better. It's
yeah,
bullshit.
they should have been.
They lost a person who is one of the best female wrestlers of all time, and they lost someone who is marketable in terms of Naomi.
Yep.
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. I had to
No.
No. You're in your right to say that, and it makes so much sense, and it adds on to what we're talking about. So it's perfect.
And the fact that they're being untreated this way, right? And it's the fact that we're in this fucking limbo. It's like, are they there? Are they not there? They got taken off recently. It's always it's some shit. And it's like, if this was Charlotte Flair, would they do this? No, they wouldn't.
No, they would
No,
not.
exactly. And I love Charlotte, don't get me wrong. But if it was Charlotte Flair, they would have treated this differently.
Even if it was Becky Lynch, they wouldn't do it.
Agreed.
Exactly. Even with Becky, they would have done this differently. And I'll even say, even with Asuka, they would have done this differently.
Yeah. That's because they don't want to fuck up their Japanese fucking connection, because unfortunately, they brought in a lot of Japanese wrestlers during NXT. Asuka was one of them. Shinsuke was one of them. That whole New Japan connection thing, it's still, that's why you don't think Shinsuke has left and Asuka hasn't left. They brought in half of their people into NXT, right? Shinsuke and Asuka. They were the pinnacle people who brought them in there. But they're not going to fuck up that relationship. They're not, because now they're going to lose international money. But they do this shit. But
it's bullshit how the fact of the matter is that you honestly just taken off the best female wrestler in WWE right now in Sasha Banks, both entertainment wise and also professional wrestling wise. I don't care what you say. Sasha Banks was entertaining as fuck.
She was.
She
could talk on the mic.
She gave you the best moments. She gave you the best things in the mic. The only other person I'll give you credit for is Bayley.
Bayley isn't 10% of the wrestler that Sasha is. And I like Bayley. She's fun to watch. But Sasha's a wrestler's wrestler.
I'm talking about entertainment wise now. Bayley's
I think it's all entertainment, because who sells better than Sasha Banks? No one.
Bayley.
Maybe she grabs her back a lot. Big deal. I honestly, and I'm not diminishing that. I think Sasha Banks sells best. She's put more people over. She's done more for the women's division.
Yes, she has.
Okay, and ultimately the rebranding of what women mean in the professional wrestling world. She's meant
put
more
Bayley over. What's up?
She put everybody over. Who hasn't she put over?
I mean, can we really talk about the fact that she
put Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley over?
Repeatedly.
Becky in the Hell in a Cell match, and Bayley in terms of NXT Takeover.
I mean, look at what they did.
Even Nia, she put Nia over too.
Yes, she did. She sold her as a monster
twice, right?
Yeah, and here's the other thing: a lot of single stars, when they were told, "Hey, by the way, we're creating a tag team division, and we're going to slap you with somebody that you may not have ever worked with before," and they had, but the point, never together. Okay, a lot of singles wrestlers would have taken that as a slight. Instead, she said, I want to elevate this division. She saw the value of a tag team division. Yes.
Twice.
And what did they do since?
And with Naomi.
And then she walked out, and what did they do? They pissed on the belts. They don't mean anything. That division is shot, and also the opportunity for a lot of other women in that company to do something more meaningful than what they're currently doing is now gone. In one fell swoop, one action, them leaving that day, they made their point, and everybody said, fine, fuck the division, fuck those two, fuck everybody. And they
pissed on the women's evolution. In terms of what happened in 2018, they pissed on it.
Agreed wholeheartedly. I am embarrassed for the company that they did that. Has nothing to do with the storyline. It has to do with the people involved and the way they portray women on this show.
Absolutely.
And they've done a very bad job of it. They also, again, I bitch and moan about the part-timers, but I get really tired of seeing Ronda come in and being so dominant. That's why I was so happy to see her shake Liv's hand and then hug her. Because that's it. You know what? There's a changing of the guard here. And that's a good thing for the division and for the company and for wrestling as a whole. And
for sure.
I'm so sorry I leave and then come back with these grand sweeping statements.
No, you're good.
It's fine. Well, we're gonna wait till Clinton comes back. But that was a lot to unload. A lot.
I feel like it's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. It's been a long time coming, and the fact about it is like I ran rave about WWE and how much bullshit it goes through, and I think it's well deserved. You know, they do these things to these wrestlers, and they pretty much we're supposed to believe that they're happy, and they're not fucking happy, and they treat them so shitty and bad, and we see that we see it through a micro lens, but we still see it, right? Even if it's like brought to attention that like, and I'm glad that Naomi and Sasha brought it to attention that they are treating us like shit instead of just going, we're just stepping away. We're not going to say anything about it. Fuck that. We're going to say something about it. And now the whole Vince McMahon thing with his fucking little $12 million fucking hookups. Like, what the fuck?
It's several, and they were all consensual.
Oh, were they now? That's why they were so expensive.
Justice for Ashley. That's all I gotta say about that.
Come back, Clinton.
Come back, Clinton.
The disembodied voice
of
Clinton was weird to me. Hopefully you're drinking something good.
Ashley, because honestly, let's be real. So Ashley revealed all that stuff during her memoir before she passed away.
Oh, I didn't know she passed. Damn, I forgot she passed away. Damn.
And then the whole Lita time's up. She said all this shit. Everybody was saying all of this. It's just the fact that now, because we live in a cancel culture world, that we're trying to cancel everybody.
Me too.
Yeah. It's just
there's some parts of me too that's good. There's some of it that's like really...
we can agree that not everybody needs to be canceled, but those who deserve to be need to be.
Yeah.
Vince deserves to be canceled. Like,
amen. Well, he deserves more than that. He deserves a prison cell if any of this is true.
Was he 78 right now? Something like that. He's same age as what?
He's got the best lawyers in the world. I assure you, he's not going to serve a day in jail.
Since the whole,
he's the same age and the same brain.
The Cream Crew thing. Do you know about the whole Cream Crew thing?
No, Cream Crew.
Tell the story.
Okay.
So this was. Oh, I'm surprised that you don't know Alton.
I tell a story.
So I think it was Terry. It was Terry Garvin. Who's the other two?
I don't know.
So allegedly, they molested the ring people who worked the ring, who set up the ring and let go of the ring. So apparently, there was 3 people. Terry Garvin was one of them, and then the other 2, I keep forgetting their name. Apparently, they molested them, and it was called grooming at the time.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
You're
we can
Dark
agree
Side
that
of the Ring, so
I think we can agree the wrestling business probably doesn't have the cleanest history.
No, it doesn't.
it was
Okay,
it
but-
was
but
it was
when you
I mean,
got
no,
a
no.
ring. So
Jimmy
you
Slick
gotta-
killed somebody.
yeah, and he admitted that on his deathbed.
Rey Mysterio killed somebody.
Did he really?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he did. Oh my god! In Lucha Underground, holy shit! Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Did he? Wait, no. Did he
That
kill
was-
somebody, or did somebody die while he was in the ring?
Somebody died while he
Yeah,
was.
somebody died while he was in a ring.
All right,
but it
big
was like
difference. Let's
That's
be
different
careful
than
with
chicken.
that language here. We are live on the internet.
Yeah,
no, it's fine. But the thing that I said was already on Dark Side of the
they killed Owen Hart. That's a fact.
Yeah, if you
Owen
saw
Hart
Dark-
agreed to do to do it.
But they didn't use the right material, and they know they did it.
I think
they,
the whole thing was terrible.
they know they did it.
I mean, you can say somebody killed Droz's life. You know, he's alive, but he isn't. He's existing.
No,
not
didn't he
really
pass
alive.
away? No, he's
No.
still. I know he's
Droz is
paralyzed.
still, Droz is still
There's
alive.
a difference between Droz and Owen Hart.
Yeah,
Oh, I agree with that, but at the same time, it's all done for show. All of this happened because of a show they were trying to put on. Nobody set out that evening and said, "Tonight's the night we kill Owen Hart."
But the thing is that if you saw the thing, they didn't have the proper people to have the.
They didn't even have the permits. If I'm not
No, they
mistaken,
didn't.
they weren't allowed. They weren't. They were told not to do the stunt.
But D'Lo Brown has a permit to wrestle.
yes, he does.
Yeah, I mean, I
Bad
don't
accident is a bad accident, but at
I
the
don't
same
think
time,
D'Lo. I don't think D'Lo Brown murdered anybody.
No, he didn't.
But I
It
think
was
that. But it's.
But Owen
this is
Hart-
okay, I mean, I don't know where I stand on that. I have a hard time believing that anybody wanted to hurt Owen Hart. He was
No.
one of their
It's
biggest
not
stars.
about nobody wanting to hurt Owen Hart. It's just nobody cared about the precautions
Yeah,
to make sure Owen Hart was safe.
I think it was an oversight and a tragic one.
yeah.
But I mean, it didn't benefit the company in any way. You know,
I can even-
I'm speaking like stupidly for a reason. I don't think anybody backstage wanted to hurt one of their biggest attractions.
No, they
Yeah.
didn't. but-
I just think, yeah, there's negligence there. I also think there's something about this industry that wants bigger, badder, faster, more. Like
that
they
was a
want-
movie.
That was also the whole agenda of the Attitude Era.
But the thing was that
So-
were they pushing Owen Hart because they put him as the Blue Blazer at the time?
No, they weren't. They weren't pushing him. He was a gimmick at that point.
He was the opening act on the pay-per-view, but he was on the pay-per-view. So
But he was a
still
gimmick.
But he's
Yeah.
still a feature. I mean, you know, you really want to get into the mentality of how they book. I don't think we can do that.
No,
I just think there was a negligence there, but I think I see it as an accidental manslaughter kind of thing.
Yeah.
Murder's another story. I don't know.
It
It's tough.
wasn't murder. It was definitely like it was manslaughter.
I think it
And-
speaks to the greater problems in the industry then and now, in that everybody is willing to go over and above the call of duty to get TV time, to get T-shirts sold, to
But-
get fame.
So I would agree with you, but the thing is that Owen Hart even said he didn't want to do it.
Okay, well that's a different story. If they said you have to
In
do
Dark
this,
Side
you're
of the
fired.
Ring, Owen Hart said he didn't want to do it. He
I have
said-
not seen that episode yet, so
So
Oh,
Owen Hart
yeah.
said, I didn't think this is a good idea. And even Vince was like, I think this is a good idea. I think this will get you over. That's
okay. Well,
the thing.
that's a
Owen
different
Hart-
story. That's a different story.
Wait,
Yeah.
so you saw it too, right, Chris?
Huh?
You saw it, right? The episode?
No, I have not. I've seen
I
like
did.
clips. I've seen
I-
like clips of it.
I did.
So-
That shit is
so-
gruesome. That shit is.
So
I'm really upset that WWE bought
it
the
was
rights to
Vince's
Dark Side of the
decision
Ring.
to have Owen Hart do the whole thing. Owen Hart said he didn't want to do it.
Wait, hold up. Before you continue, WWE did what?
They bought the rights to Dark Side of the Ring. They own the brand now.
Are you serious?
Fuck them for that.
Well,
A lot of it is their stories.
And what is it that they're doing?
Talent.
Hey, Braun, they're controlling their narrative.
Well,
And that's exactly what this is. They saw the plane ride from hell, in my opinion, is what did it. They saw that episode and said, we're going to get thrown to the mat. The Benoit episode, which was haunting.
Woo!
Very haunting.
Okay, that so they said, you know what, we're going to go buy the TV. So they went to Vice TV and said, we're going to pay you X amount of dollars to own this from now on.
So I have it on DVR, so I'm going to record that.
I wish Vice said no.
I do too, but Vice is not a multi-billion-dollar company.
Nope.
And they got paid stupid money for a show that got moderate ratings at best. What do you think they're going to do? I think it's sad because a lot of the transparency that we like about the show is now gone.
Yeah.
But I also know that WWE is not going to invest in something and bury it. They'll probably put it back out about people that maybe left the company and didn't end their careers on good terms, and they'll still have that presentation.
They'll hide the truth as much as possible, and the people who go to interviews that are interviewing these ex wrestlers or whatever the case may be, like the Moolah episode was haunting.
Did not watch that one. I've not seen that one.
Let me tell you, you want to talk about a pimp in WWE, a real fucking pimp?
Yeah.
The Marvelous Moolah was a fucking pimp.
Get the fuck out of here.
And not for nothing.
You didn't know?
No, I heard she was a bitch. I didn't know she was.
No. She was a
why
pimp.
they took the Fabulous Moolah's name off of WrestleMania 34, the Battle Royal, that was supposed to be for the Women's Battle Royal, was because they found out that Moolah was a pimp, and she basically pimped all the women, like Queen Victoria, Wendy Richter, like all of them.
A lot of them.
She pimped all of them.
Leilani Kai and all them.
Leilani Kai.
My
Robin
God.
Robbins. Like,
and let me tell you something.
Let me
tell you something.
No,
I
Brad,
did not know this.
Yeah.
Brad, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Like, the fact that she was pimping these girls out, right, goes to show you how far does it really go. Was she pimping these people out to wrestlers as well? She was. And maybe somebody that owned the company too.
What do they say about icebergs? You see the 10% above the water, it's the 90% below the water that'll hurt you.
Like who's to say like Moolah's dead? But the fact about it is that
she took the easy way out.
No, she probably had some dirt on Vince because mind you,
what I always say is what is in darkness always comes to light.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that. This industry that we love so much and that we enjoy the product of, we can all agree that there's so many sad stories. I mean, 1 million documentaries have been made. All you have to do is watch Beyond the Mat, watch Jake the Snake Roberts, raking grass with his father who sexually molested him 10 times over. I'm pretty sure Jake's sister is also his aunt.
Yeah.
I
didn't say that.
No, but I am.
No. It's true.
We can even talk about Canyon, who was
Chris Canyon.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a horrible story
that story was.
I got you.
He could have been literally the first gay wrestler that's out there, and the only reason why they let him go is because they found out he was gay.
And this is an industry at the time that was still doing Chuck and Billy, and we're still doing Loki and what's his name down in WCW.
Yeah,
they were. Yeah,
they call them taboo characters. They call those taboo. Even Goldust. Let's talk about the fact that Goldust was very taboo, or like.
We even are still struggling with LGBTQ characters. When was the last time you saw a Sunny Kiss on a Dynamite or a Rampage?
Oh, Sunny Kiss is so goddamn talented too. He's on Dark exclusively.
He's on Dark.
But when's the last time you saw him on? And he's been with the company
since the beginning.
Want me to be honest with you? You want me to be honest with you? The last time we saw Sunny Kiss was
in the TNT Championship the TNT Championship against
Cody Rhodes, the person you hate. Yeah, that was the last time.
What, during the pandemic era?
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
That was
dark.
Dark.
Yeah.
Bro, when we went to AEW,
that was dark. That was dark.
That was dark.
It was the last time we saw him on a Dynamite or a Rampage.
And mind you, Sunny Kiss gets a pop. Sunny Kiss always gets a pop when he comes out.
Yeah,
always.
You use us for advertisement for LGBTQ for Pride Month. You use it for advertisement, but you don't use us in general.
They don't.
But you use Bowens because he is the most masculine one out of all the ones that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Nyla Rose?
Oh,
They
good
don't.
call.
They don't push her. They
When's
don't
the
push
last
her.
time
What do you mean
Nyla
she's
Rose
been?
won? When's the last time Nyla Rose won a match?
Oh, won a match? No, but
Yeah,
They don't push.
the past like 3 weeks. She's been on Rampage
she's been on,
That's right.
on Dynamite.
Rampage, but when's the last time she won a match?
And they also don't talk about her being transgender.
No, they
They
don't.
did. They did last month.
No,
Last month, but
they
they did.
mention, and again for Pride Month. Good, great way to capitalize, you sons of bitches. But continue to make this, make it about a journey. Make it about a person coming
And they
through
didn't
something.
even
You know what I mean?
announce it when she won the title back in 2020 when she won the title from Nyla. This is the first transgender woman to win a national championship.
Exactly.
Not just a woman, a transgender woman. You could have capitalized that.
But I didn't even want them to capitalize. I want them to make it part of their narrative.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Don't make it like, oh, it's Pride Month, we better do this. That's cheapening it.
It was
It's
February.
the same thing that WWE does. The WWE did what during Pride Month? We're here to happy to celebrate. What was they had? They threw out what's her name? Who's actually gay? What's her fucking
they
name?
threw out Jake and Mercedes, and where they at right now?
They're like, look how aware we are.
And mind you, Finn Balor did Balor Club for everybody, right? Where's that merchandise?
And
Why
the
didn't they do
one?
like
The only one, I'll be real. The only one who's from the LGBTQ community who actually like benefited from this month was Anthony Bowens and Tony Storm.
Yeah, not even what's her name? Who was the in WWE?
Storm.
Tony Storm is bisexual.
She's bisexual. Okay. Yeah, not even who is actually gay in WWE. What's her fucking name? What's her name? Huh?
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville. Like, where was her fucking push? Like she.
What do you mean? All of last month, she was all over freaking SmackDown.
I was there
during Pride Month.
No, but she was also authority in the back.
Yeah, but
they didn't do anything until June.
Bullshit narrative.
Well, that's because they took it away from her, and in the month of June she was actually wrestling.
Yeah, because June they wanted to put a gay person out there.
It's posturing. Bullshit. That's all it is posturing.
I mean, yeah, of course.
And she didn't have a gay pride flag. She didn't have a flag until June when she was wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
It's bullshit.
It's just, it feels like it's pandering to us. And it feels like I don't like it. I like when it's authentic. For example, Sunny Kiss is authentic.
Yeah.
And so is Nyla. So is Nyla in the beginning.
And so is Nyla too.
But they buried that story too. I'm very pissed off. Both companies.
They don't do nothing
because I really like, as a wrestling fan, someone who's been a wrestling fan since the 90s, to finally have someone who represents me, it sucks. It really does.
I agree.
The last time I felt excited since somebody represented me was when Kofi won at WrestleMania 35.
Facts.
And that was only because he was black. And being there at WrestleMania 35, I was like, but I want to be excited because I want to see an LGBTQ champion.
And I want to see them do it without that being the primary focus.
Exactly. Being organic.
Yeah.
I don't think they have it in them.
No, they don't.
I'm sorry, but my confidence is very low on both companies.
They had somebody with Jake Atlas, and then look what happened there.
He got injured, and there was some allegations.
Jake Atlas fucked up his own, so yeah.
Well, the allegation that he had wasn't true, though. Apparently,
I know.
It was negative. He did not do what they said he did. It was a negative allegation. He said
is there proof?
Yeah, they said he beat up his boyfriend. He didn't beat up his boyfriend.
Tough thing to lose, though.
All those allegations
he's still apparently there, though. He's still apparently there though. Apparently,
He's on the roster. I mean, they haven't taken his
no,
picture
they haven't
down,
taken, but they wanted to see where the allegation went. So now,
I mean, allegations are tough in general because it hurts the company at home.
right? But now it's false.
My issue is this.
That's everybody though.
So let's be real. So I feel like we always have a champion who is the ethnicity or who is the background during that month. For example, Black History Month. Who was the WWE champion at the time? Bobby Lashley. Who won the championship at the time? Naomi.
Yeah.
These aren't coincidences.
No, they're not.
And it's goddamn shame. But
it's like
I'd like to see.
It's like if Sheamus going to get a title because of St. Patrick's Day, he gets a push though.
Irish awareness month.
It honestly sucks, and it's pandering. It makes me not want to be a WWE person anymore.
It's patronizing beyond belief, and I don't think a company that had comically gay characters as recently as 15 years ago, they're not going to shake their stripes anytime soon.
Nope.
You know, and
my dad, who was a WWE, he was Team WWE at the time when he was the first one to bring me to a WWE show. He's like, I can't watch this shit anymore.
It happens.
I mean, the Chuck and Billy stuff was particularly tough because the world had started to shift at that point. Perspectives on these topics had started to shift, and it seemed like they were trying to generate laughter out of things that nobody was laughing at. So I don't know. I'm embarrassed for the industry, and there are times where I'm embarrassed to still support the industry. I'm middle-aged. I mean, I'm 46 years old at this point, you know, and it's tough for me to swallow this. I've become a lot more aware in my old age, and it's frustrating to me to watch things grow slower, you know. And I'll leave it at that. I know that Roundhouse is trying to wrap us up because he's being real subtle about.
The one thing I want to end with.
We've been talking for 3 hours, so
the one thing I'm going to end with is what is your. So I know you always talk about predictions. What is your predictions 3 months going forward that you want to happen?
Not to see Theory win any title.
Okay, period. That's yours. Brad, what's yours? What's your 3 months down the road with AEW and WWE? What's 3 months down the road? What do you want to see?
I want to build off of what we just spent the last half hour talking about. Okay. I actually like to see WWE rise above. I don't care who's in charge. I'd like it to be Stephanie or Triple H.
I agree.
I don't care if it isn't. I'd like to see the company try to rise from the ashes of what is obviously a very bad reality.
Mm-hmm.
And acknowledge it without coming out and saying outright, you know, like you don't need to hit us on the nose with it. But
please stop having Vince McMahon come the fuck out every fucking time just to be like forever and all this shit. Sit that motherfucker down.
No, because he's sitting there. That's saving face. He's literally saying, "I'm still the guy you loved. Remember me?" It's embarrassing for him. It's embarrassing for the company, and it actually spits in the face of everybody that supported this company and turned a blind eye to all the stupidity that was clearly going on behind the scenes. I'd like to see the company rise above it and say, look, we fucked up, but let us still entertain you, and we'll try to earn back your trust. That's my hope for the next 3 months.
All right. And then
what about you guys?
I don't know. I mean, I pretty much agree with that. You know, I need to see something different. The product has gone stale for WWE. It can be a lot better. They do have some strides with some of their shows, but it's not a 10 for me every time. You know, I'm watching AEW and it's a 10, it's 9s, it's 8s every week. Versus SmackDown and Raw, I watch SmackDown and Raw, and I'm just like, all right, I'm turning this shit off. And then I get to a pay-per-view. A pay-per-view is halfway decent, but then some of the outcomes, you're like, are you fucking kidding me? Why have you not taken the belt off this person? Why haven't you not given this person a win? What are you doing? Literally the other day, I think a couple episodes back, we were talking about Ricochet and how they haven't done anything with him. That same week, they freaking take the belt off of him. That same exact week.
Gunther. Yep.
And I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe they did that.
Has there ever been a less meaningful title run than Ricochet's?
Yeah, Nakamura.
Yeah. Nakamura.
Honestly, Nakamura, I'll give you.
Nakamura.
David Arquette. They buried Ricochet. I don't care if he's a loudmouth. He's so fucking good. It bothered. I'm sorry for all the language, but he's fucking
why are you
good.
saying we curse, Brad? What the fuck you talking about?
I know.
I'm about to take my elbow real quick. So yeah,
Please do. Actually, no, let's hang out.
Well,
for
we're
20 minutes
signing
to
off
watch
anyway, so
no, we will. But yeah, no, but I would say for the next 3 months, I want to believe what you believe. I want Liv to actually take the title for 3 months. I want that to happen. No. But they said the next 3 months. I didn't say the next 6 months. For the next 3 months, I want Liv to take the title. I want Bianca to turn heel.
Okay.
I need her to.
Yeah,
I'm on board with that. 100%.
I'm okay with Bianca turning heel.
As long as her heel turn has meaning. It can't just be her suddenly becoming this weird badass bitch. It's got to be something of value. There's got to be a reason for it.
No,
can they not do the heel turn? Women, can they not do the heel? Like she's married to Montez. They both turn fucking heel. Can we just do that? Like,
if you want to, you could bring Raquel and win the Rumble, and then you can have Raquel versus Bianca.
Yeah, because they're heavy pushing Raquel as a face.
Thank God.
But it doesn't make sense.
But she's not a face.
It doesn't fit her though. I loved her as a heel on NXT. They got rid of Dakota Kai, bruh. Like, come on.
Nah, you said it.
Dakota should be in AEW.
Nah, too many people there already. My God, that roster.
I think she is King Coda.
That roster is too bloated. They need to trim some
fat. But they do need more women though. So
I agree, but trim some fat.
I'd accept her there. Which is what I think they. So what they did last month, they did the a men's casino battle royale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So All Out, most likely they'll have a female one.
That's what I said. It's the female.
Well, Coda could be that wild card.
Well, we'll see what happens.
And then also, I really, and I do hope that Rock actually comes back.
The Rock? I agree. Exactly. I mean, the promotion for Black Adam has been starting. He'll be doing the tours and stuff like that. But once that's done, I need him back.
He's also on tour for DC Super Pets.
Oh, he's also 52 years old and not really willing to give up his body.
Yeah, the last time he had the last time he had a major fight, he ripped apart his abdomen.
Here's what I think could happen. Let's say that Theory wins the title from Roman and Brock.
I hope not.
Let's say Cena wins the title at Rumble against Theory.
God, no.
You can have Cena versus Roman at WrestleMania. When Roman wins, and then The Rock comes out, he's like, I want to challenge you to the match. When Roman's very tired, he's like, I'll challenge you. And Rock just wreck him, and Rock wins the title.
Okay, but why would you bury 4 years of Roman Reigns buildup just to give The Rock a moment?
It's not burying him because it
is going to bury him. If you're telling me that The Rock, without wrestling for the last 11 years, is suddenly going to come in and absolutely decimate the guy that they built up for so long, I don't think you can do that. Family story or not, I think you can have him surprise him with a rock bottom, but that's got to be it because you can't bury the guy that's going to be there every week.
But The Rock is such a legend that you can't really bury him because
No, but at the same time, what is all wrestlers have that one credo, and I know, Al, you want to end this, but the wrestlers have one credo: you're supposed to go out looking at the lights, you're supposed to go out on your back, you're supposed to pass the torch. The Rock has to lose to do that. Otherwise, why bring him back?
which I would say would be SummerSlam.
The Rock
Bring
never
him back,
retired.
but he's got to lose, and
The
he's got to
Rock never
lose it.
retired. Let's
Oh,
feel like
please!
this.
What does it mean? They're
But
actors.
the last time The Rock has lost a SummerSlam match was Brock Lesnar.
I think the
Which
man
was-
is not going to put. Let's be real. The Rock's next big birthday is 60. He's not going to put his action movie career on the line just to entertain WWE fans, and he's certainly not going to do it putting over Roman Reigns, who doesn't really need him to do it.
Yep. He's
John
only been
Cena's-
doing like 30-second matches.
Yeah, John Cena's at a point now where he's not even really lined up to do it, but he's in much better shape to do it than The Rock.
I'll give you that.
The Rock is worth roughly $1 billion at this point.
I'll give you
And
that.
I think he's got a devotion to this business. I think he loves wrestling. He loves WWE, and he wants to go out there and do it. But do you really think he's going to risk it? I don't. I just don't.
I'll give you that.
And
on
it's
that
not
note,
for.
let's go. Well, thank you for everybody being here. Thank you for Clinton, Brad, Chris, partner in crime. We didn't get the Theory, Mr. Ruben Theory, up in here. Hope we did next time.
I love that you've given him this name now. He's
Ruben Theory.
Ruben
Yeah.
Theory.
Ruben
Well,
Theory.
at least he gets a first name, not the actual Theory.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently. But anyway.
We talked for 3 hours. Wow, that's
Guys,
Yeah.
I got to say thank you for having me back. I know I was gone for a while. It's
No,
been an
Brad,
absolute pleasure
it's been-
talking with you guys.
It's been
You
great.
guys are amazing. Like, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys just being here and just letting Clinton, you going off, and Brad, you going off, especially when you talk about Cody Rhodes, or just in general how.
I got a great idea.
All right,
Carmella versus Cody Rhodes, haters versus traders.
Jesus Christ,
And that's how you end the show.
and you know what, guys? Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our posts. Don't forget to follow us on our Twitter as well, which is TSB. I think it's True Story Bro on Twitter. I'm so fucking crazy, right there. It is official True Story Bro. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Which is, I guess we have the link. Do we?
I don't got that link.
Okay, we don't have that link, but we'll,
It's on the Twitter, so
it's on the Twitter. Go to the Twitter. You can find us on YouTube and our Twitch. Please, we're trying to get somewhere with Twitch, so please follow us. Or even subscribe at some point.
Can I
And
do
don't forget-
can I do an unsolicited promotion here?
I was about to
course.
do you anyway.
Yeah. Oh, well, then by all means, you're going to do it.
Don't forget to actually follow Brad on Needless to Say podcast. They're on Spotify, pretty much all of them.
Anywhere you can get a podcast, and you can follow us on Twitter at NTS_podcast.
Brad, I want to be on your podcast, so
Then just call me, and we'll do this.
I got you.
You got it.
There you go.
Anytime you want, the door is open. These
We-
guys will
we-
tell you that.
The forbidden door is open.
You might not want to come back after you're done.
And if you want to get in contact with Clinton here, make sure you go follow him or message him.
So I am at LPWC, which is LGBTQ Pro Wrestling Community. But also you can follow me on my personal Twitter, which is CMJ32988. I actually don't post that much on my Twitter because I really don't fuck with Twitter. But I'm actually going to go back to Twitter as much. So if you want to follow me, that's fine. If you don't want to, you can follow LPWC. So that's what it is.
All right. And with that, I think we'll be back. What's the next wrestling event?
SummerSlam.
That's
Actually,
what?
why do we find out when Vince McMahon goes on trial, and we'll schedule it for that?
Oh,
You know what? We'll do that. And we'll probably do watch a show live.
Fighter Fest is next
actually,
week.
no, we'll do All Out. We'll do All Out.
Oh, there you go. All out.
Fighter
The
Fest is next week.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Yeah.
I'm planning on having a
But for the
previous
watch along,
obligation.
we'll do All Out.
Yeah, we'll do a
All
live
out.
We'll
reaction
do
to
that.
All Out. And with that being said, Chris, you got anything else to say? Man, other than man.
No,
No, you got
I'm
nothing to
good.
say? Well, fuck your
Yeah.
beard. Anyway, good night, everybody.
Good
Team
night.
Bear